Marathoning when I was 28. I thought it was time to get in shape, but then once I realized I was actually running from my meaningless job in ad sales, I started running a lot more, like all the time.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live. You're invited to join us on the radio. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And we do have Skype as well. Skype username here is LRN.FM. Joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Chris.
And Darryl.
Of course, you can bring up anything that's on your mind. You may take control of the airwaves. Something that we haven't really followed up on a whole lot over the last week, unless you touched on something last night, Darryl, is the situation in Catalonia.
No, and there wasn't really any news to report last night.
I did have a story from earlier this week basically saying that the the Spanish government, for listeners that don't know, Spanish government and the Catalonian region of Spain, they've been fighting it out, not physically that much yet. But it's been an interesting
the Spanish
conflict.
police have been fighting.
That's true.
The people of Spain, they've not, or the people of Catalonia, the Catalans have not been fighting back.
Correct. The Catalonian folks have been trying to secede from the majority of Spain, and obviously
Correct.
the Spanish government doesn't want that to happen, considering Catalonia is the big tax base, basically the big money generator for the entire nation of Spain. But what had been said this week was the Spanish government had given the Catalonian leader until Thursday to end his secession campaign or risk losing regional autonomy. So Thursday was supposedly the deadline for that. Now here we are on Friday night,
Correct.
Eastern time in the United States, where it's probably just now crossing into tomorrow in Spain.
Yes.
But so now that deadline has been hit, and indeed Spain has come back, apparently. You've got the latest news saying they are going to pull the autonomy
and
from Catalonia.
I've actually got two different sources here, and the one isn't necessarily a full article, and even though it's from the BBC, it does not appear to actually have been written by a native English speaker. Some of the sentences are very choppy, but headline is King Philippe VI says Catalonia will remain Spanish. He told an award ceremony in the northern city of Oviedo that the Catalan government was causing a rift and Spain would solve the problem through democratic institutions. Catalonia
Forced upon them.
Funny that a monarch is saying we're going to solve this democratically. But that aside, Catalonia's leaders have threatened to declare independence. And me breaking in here, there was the referendum on October 1st, and they mentioned that later in the article. And the Catalan president, Carles Puigdemont, had, in accordance with Catalan law, declared independence, but then asked the Catalan parliament to suspend implementation of the declaration.
Which was a surprise because it put off what everybody was waiting for.
Right, but it was also one of those things of he knew if we go ahead and implement the declaration right now, Spanish military rolls in because they already said we are going to try to stop you from actually going with your declaration. So,
well, they already had 2 boatloads, cruise ships full of Spanish police.
Correct.
There in, I believe, Barcelona, the ports.
Police cracked about 800 heads, actually cracked some heads, preventing people from going to the polls. At least 800 Catalans wound up going to hospitals.
We don't know if they all had head
injuries.
injuries, but
right,
there was some pretty brutal violence on the day of the vote, and we talked about that at the time that it happened. We're talking about cops drop-kicking people, pulling them by their hair, throwing them down stairwells, and that was just one video that I saw.
Right. So, Puigdemont said, I would have tried, working this out like, normal adults.
It was the final attempt to negotiate something.
Let's try to negotiate a peaceful divorce. See if we
We're
can
leaving. We're
have
leaving.
an amicable divorce. No more beating me up because I'm trying to leave because you're an abusive spouse. Let's go our separate ways.
They just don't change their ways, though, do they? The abusive spouse.
Mariano Rajoy said, "No talking," and I realize that's a horrible Spanish accent, but still, no soup for you, and not going to talk. Here's the deadline. You either
do as we say. Back down.
Back down, or we're invoking Article 155.
And Article 155 is, the provision of the Spanish Constitution that basically says they can revoke the autonomy. They can basically take total control over this particular region, right?
Basically, although the BBC article here says that it does not give them the power to fully suspend autonomy, but does allow them to basically step in and say, you're not really autonomous anymore.
We're running things here.
Continuing on here, again, King Philippe VI says Catalonia is and will remain an essential part of Spain. And
he doesn't want that tax base to go away.
Right. The Catalans had declared independence, and according to, again, this from the BBC, they say, according to the opposition socialists who support the central government stand against Catalan independence, the plan includes elections in Catalonia in January.
By the Spanish government.
Spanish government is telling the Catalans, you're going to have new elections.
Right, because basically their argument is, well, these people who are running the Catalonian government right now who support secession, we're no longer going to consider them to be legitimate, and we're going to replace them with people who are more into our system.
There's a more in-depth article from the UK Telegraph that I will get into about the actual elections here, but this BBC article says the Spanish central government has said that they will trigger Article 155 on Saturday, and it's going to be the first time that Article 155 has ever been invoked in Spain.
And by the way, the Spanish government, as it currently is constituted, is about 40 years old. I think it was the late 70s, 78. When they came to be. So not exactly the newest nation, or the oldest nation out there.
Other moves may include taking over Catalan Regional Police Force. A referendum, again, the referendum held on October 1st was deemed illegal by the Spanish government, and actually Mariano Rajoy says there was no vote. It was illegal for them to vote. I don't know what the people were doing that day, but they weren't voting because we said they couldn't vote.
It's just, right. They don't take it seriously. Although, obviously, they're taking it seriously. They moved in 2 cruise ships full of police and had people, getting beaten up because they were trying to go not vote, apparently.
Yeah, it sounds pretty serious to me.
Yeah.
Right. Now, jumping over to...
And by the way, remember the old saying, if voting changed anything, they'd make it illegal. And what did they try to do here? They tried to criminalize the people who were voting. They went in, they stole the ballots before the voting even happened. They went in, they tried to seal off the voting locations to prevent people from physically going.
They arrested some of the election officials. Some of the mayors, things of that sort.
And arrests continued this week as well. That was one of the other headlines that I've been kind of sitting on here, where 2 prominent Catalan independence leaders were Monday night sent to prison by Spain's national court while they are investigated for alleged crimes of sedition. Jordi Sanchez of the Catalan National Assembly and Jordi Cuixart of the Òmnium Cultural are being investigated for their role in protests against police in the run-up to the banned independence vote.
Well, now I just think that it's illegal in Catalonia to be named Jordi.
Right. It's actually 2 different... Oh, no, it's the same spelling. The 2 men have been accused of leading a tense night of protests in Barcelona on September 20th as police carried out sweeping raids and arrested several Catalan officials. The Jordis, who, as they went to court on Monday morning, one of them said he was convinced we will return to sleep at home tonight, unquote, will now be held without bail while they are investigated on the possible charges, which carry a sentence of up to 15 years in prison. And this is how it's done. I mean, you want to oppress an uprising, you target their leaders. You target the people who are the influence bearers, the people that when others see them getting arrested, the intention is to, throw fear, uncertainty, and doubt into the mix and make people think, I don't know if I want to go vote because now these guys have been arrested and I don't want to get arrested either. But the good news is millions of people did come out and participate in this, even though they were literally under the threat of violence and actual violence by the Spanish government. There's more you can share with us here.
And more people probably would have voted if all of the polling places would have been open.
Sure. Toll-free number here, 855-450, free like freedom. If you want to join us, 855-450-3733. I suspect the arrests are not over yet in Catalonia. More coming up. It's Free Talk Live.
I got my Blink home security system delivered right to my door. I downloaded the app and it walked me right through the easy setup. Even with my complicated router system, I was done in like 10 minutes. Now it notifies me whenever something moves in front of the wireless cameras, or I can just check it whenever I want right from my phone. And I got you a deal. Get 3 Blink cams for what the other guys charge you for 1, plus an extra 10% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. 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 The 3 most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.LRN.FM. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.LRN.FM. You likely buy all kinds of things online. Amazon is the largest online retailer. You can get what you need at the same great prices, and LRN gets a cut. Please do your online shopping at shop.LRN.FM.
Earlier this year, after many years of conflict over the direction of Bitcoin, the creators of Bitcoin Cash did just what they were told to do. They forked off. Now there are 2 Bitcoins, the one that is run by the big bank patsies, and Bitcoin Cash, the one that stays true to the creator's vision. Bitcoin Cash has surprised many with its relevancy and staying power, and the price reflects it. If you believe that Bitcoin was meant to be a low-cost, easy-to-use, peer-to-peer currency that could bring economic freedom to the world, you need Bitcoin Cash. Get your Bitcoin Cash wallet right now at bitcoin.com.
Dash is digital cash, a digital currency designed to replace cash and help people manage their own wealth. It's fast and easy, fees are low, and transactions are confirmed instantly. Pay anyone, anywhere in the world, anytime for just pennies on the dollar. Dash is the first digital money that's governed by its users. Join Dash at dash.org and help build a better financial system for everyone. Find out more at dash.org.
Anyone can publish on the internet, but not everyone is publishing material suited for online reading. According to the Yahoo Style Guide, it cautions that internet content has a few seconds, 3 or less, to encourage people to read more, to take action, or navigate to another one of your pages. So make it easy for readers to pick and choose. Isn't that the way you poke around online? Use short words, short sentences, short paragraphs, bulleted lists, and short pages. Front load what you write, putting the most important information at the beginning of headlines and paragraphs and sentences. Same goes for your keywords, what someone would likely type into the search box on Yahoo or Google. For more tips on communicating better online or in a job interview or everyday life, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
You may already know about the Free Talk Live audio-on-demand phone line at 641-793-9660. Did you know that not only can you listen to Free Talk Live via your phone, you can also leave a message and have it delivered to Free Talk Live's hosts? To leave us your thoughts, just dial 641-793-9660. That's 641-793-9660. Press 2 for Free Talk Live, and then hit 0 to leave your message.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can bring up anything that you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We're talking about secession. It's definitely one of my favorite topics, and in my opinion, one of the most, I think, relevant topics in our time here. I think it's always a relevant topic, but it's relevant because we're in this time, and we need to see more secession out there, not just in Catalonia, or not just in Spain, with Catalonia trying to leave from Spain. That's what we're covering right now, but any other organization or individual. I think secession should be something that should be able to happen all the way down to the individual level. If you don't want to be part of society, if you don't want to be part of a political body, if you don't want to be part of any kind of group, you should be able to leave that group as long as you're not in some way contractually bound. You know, if you didn't bind yourself contractually in advance. And of course, the government people would argue that you have bound yourself contractually by a social contract, which of course you've never actually read, nor could you ever read because, well, it's never actually been written down.
See, you exist here on this planet, and somebody claims jurisdiction over you, and because you exist within their jurisdiction, that is your tacit approval.
Right. The social contract basically boils down to whatever we say, and we as the people who aren't you, the government, whatever we say, you got to do or else. That's basically what the social contract is.
Oh, you don't like it? Go find some land that nobody claims. Well, some people tried that, and they're still prevented from going there because, you know, somebody else is saying, well, you don't have authority to be there because we said so, even though it's not our land.
One of the nice things about cryptocurrencies like Dash and Bitcoin and, well, many others, is that it is all voluntary. You decide whether you want to get involved and to what extent and into how many of them. And if you get tired of one of them, you can trade it. You can get rid of it. Dash, however, is something you might want to hold on to because they've got an interesting governance structure. Speaking of governance, with Dash, they actually make decisions based on the people who have the greatest stakes in the Dash community, the so-called masternodes. You can go to dash.org and learn more about how Dash works. But it is digital cash, a digital money platform designed to replace cash and help people manage their own wealth. It's fast, it can be private and easy, fees are low, and transactions are quick and can be confirmed instantly. You can pay anyone, anywhere in the world, anytime for just pennies on the dollar. And Dash is decentralized and run by users who earn rewards for helping run the network and make governance decisions. Anyone can invest in Dash and earn rewards for helping run the Dash network. So join Dash and help create a better financial system for everyone. Take back control over your financial future today and find out more at dash.org. There's a lot of momentum behind Dash right now. So go to dash.org and find out why. And, you know, it makes me wonder, I haven't looked for it. Just now thinking of this, I wonder if Bitcoin is playing a role, or Dash, or any of the other cryptocurrencies out there, in the Catalonian secession movement, because you know that if they do somehow break away, or if they start ignoring the Spanish government, if they basically say, well, you know, Spanish government, you're going to take autonomy away from Catalonia, okay, fine. Well, we don't need your autonomy anyway. We're leaving, and we're not going to acknowledge you as a legitimate ruling force anymore. We're going to ignore you. We're not going to pay taxes to you. You better believe that there's going to be some kind of, you know, currency games that will be going on as far as the Spanish government is going to do something, right? They've already threatened the banks. The banks have been packing up from the Catalonian region, and they've been any banks in Spain that had a head office in Catalonia, they're leaving, and that's because their allegiance lies with the Spanish government. They don't want to be caught doing business in a place in Spain where they could be cut off, in theory, from the rest of Spain.
Right, and you know, the structure of things, because, you know, governments exist and they authorize certain businesses to exist. If you're authorized to exist by the Spanish government and you're doing business all throughout Spain, then it makes sense for you to wind up leaving the area that, is not the majority of your business.
Yeah, even though Catalonia is, of all the regions in Spain, the big economic powerhouse, it still is not going to, it's not going to be the majority of the entirety of Spain. So from an economic perspective, purely it makes sense to leave Catalonia unless you're a Catalan-only bank. If there's a if there's a type of bank that doesn't have branches in the rest of Spain, then you might see them staying and throwing in with the Catalan government. But even then, it's the bankers, they know where their bread is buttered.
So let's jump into this Telegraph article a little bit more.
So we're talking about the what's coming tomorrow in Catalonia. Is they're planning, the Spanish government is planning to use Article 155 of their constitution and strip so-called autonomy from the Catalan region tomorrow.
Right, and the Catalans are now basically saying, you know what? Since you're invoking 155, we're going to go ahead and actually declare and implement a Declaration of Independence. The Telegraph says the Spanish government has struck a deal with the opposition socialist. Now, that's not the Catalan opposition. That's the Spanish loyal opposition. So they're not part of the majority of the parliament. And that will force elections in Catalonia by 2018 as part of a package deal of special powers expected to be unveiled on Saturday. On the eve of a special cabinet meeting at which Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy will decide how to deploy Article 155 of the Constitution to bring pro-independence leaders into line, the socialists agreed steps which would, I guess they mean agreed 2 steps, which would take Catalonia to elections in January. Separatists stage a protest against the central government's move and against the banks, which have moved their headquarters out of the region in response to the crisis by flocking to withdraw cash in symbolic amounts. A spokeswoman for the socialist, Carmen Calvo, said the party supported a limited, surgical, gentle, and gradual use of 155.
Hold on. Run by all those adjectives again. Limited,
surgical, gentle, and gradual. Use of Article 155.
Because that's how government works.
Which
real
itself
gently.
is unprecedented and has been described as a constitutional nuclear option.
A gentle nuclear option. We're going to be
gentle,
real gentle
surgical,
with that.
and limited nuclear option. Yeah,
That's insane.
You don't have
those words don't
gentle,
go to,
gradual, and surgical nuclear options that are somehow
Surgery's
limited.
not gentle. I mean, you can die from surgery.
Well, depending on the surgery and how much Novocaine and whatnot.
Even the most safe surgery out there, like the vasectomy, for instance, which I have actually received, I was told, hey, this is still a risk. You could still die from going under the knife.
Right.
And
anytime you get cut open, there's always a chance. It might be, smaller than the chance of winning the Powerball while being struck by lightning, but statistically, that is a chance.
No doubt. Could get an infection and die.
Rajoy, that's the Spanish prime minister, said on the sidelines of a European Union summit in Brussels that the goal is double: the return to legality and the recovery of institutional monarchy. But the monarch wants to implement democracy.
The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733, or whatever he says is democracy. It's going to be his way or possible violence, because that's how the government works. It's Free Talk Live.
In an emergency, you need a fire now. But what if the wood is wet? No problem for InstaFire. Our non-toxic fire starter packs lights wet wood, floats, and can even burn on water or in any weather. Sustains winds up to 30 miles per hour, and each pouch weighs only 1.75 ounces. Need an emergency or camp stove? Get the InstaFire Inferno stove that boils 20 ounces of water in under 3 minutes with controllable heat and temps from 425 to 1500 degrees. Free shipping. Go to instafire.com and use discount code RADIO30 up to 3 times for 30% off your order. InstaFire. Fire in an instant.
Chad here, owner of Infidel Body Armor. With the shooting in Vegas, there will be calls to ban guns and body armor. You can expect prices to rise dramatically in the coming weeks as gun grabbers try to outlaw your freedom. If you don't have your armor kit yet, you're behind the curve. Don't miss your window of opportunity. Go to infidelbodyarmor.com and click on Specials. That's infidelbodyarmor.com.
Free Talk Live.
In order for this government to be legitimate, it had to have been legitimate in the first place. And that means that every person who was involved, who was on the North American continent at the time, had to have agreed to it. And if it was set up by force, if it was set up at the point of a bayonet, then it wouldn't be legitimate. It wouldn't be any more legitimate than me sticking a knife in your ribs and saying, give me your wallet. Oh, you gave me the wallet. It's legitimate. So the very fact that this government was set up by force, it was set up by killing other people, means that it's not legitimate.
That doesn't even go into the fact that everyone who set it up is long dead. It's been assumed to be this real thing, this valid thing, because of the magic scroll. They wrote a magic scroll. You know, they got out a piece of paper and wrote it down, and voila, and now it's a real thing that has legitimacy, right?
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
There's no better app for tracking the value of cryptocurrencies than CoinCap. I've had a lot of apps for tracking Bitcoin, but none that's ever been able to track 500 digital assets at once. Their best feature is the Altfolio. I love this thing. You enter how many Bitcoins, Ether, Dash, Doge, or whatever else you have, and it tells you how much your crypto is worth. You can watch yourself get rich. If you have crypto, go right now to coincap.io, or you can use the Apple Store or Google Play to get the app. I love CoinCap. coincap.io.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, you dial, toll free, bring up whatever's on your mind. Our number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Been thinking about doing a home security system for your home or maybe your office, but you don't want to spend a crazy amount of money and have to deal with all the wiring hassles when it comes to installing those things. You can go to blinkprotect.com/FTL and you can get the Blink home security system. 3 Blink cams for what the other guys charge for one of them. Go to blinkprotect.com/FTL and it's super easy to get these things set up. All you have to do is use your smartphone and there's no wiring whatsoever. You do have to put some batteries in them, but they even come with that. So again, blinkprotect.com/FTL. It's easy to check what's happening on your phone anytime you want. And when action happens in front of your Blink camera, it will send you the clip automatically to wherever you are. So you'll get a heads up that something has happened and you'll be able to review it pretty much immediately. blinkprotect.com/FTL, like Free Talk Live. Darryl, you're sharing with us some of the latest news out of Catalonia, the Catalonian region of Spain, the most wealthy of all of the Spanish regions. That is just recently, within the last couple of weeks, they held a vote. It was supposed to be
almost 3 weeks ago now.
Right. It was originally intended to be like a non-binding referendum, but the Spanish government cracked down on it.
No, the Spanish government was saying it was non-binding, and then the Spanish government said, you can't vote at all.
Right, they called it illegal.
Right, said it was illegal, and my understanding under Catalan law, because the referendum had been called in a certain manner, that the prime minister or the president of Catalonia was bound to go with the results.
Okay.
Which is why he declared independence on the day that he did. Initially,
then suspended it.
Right. Initially, the Spanish Prime Minister, Mariano Rajoy, said, you're not allowed to have a meeting of parliament on this day, which is the day he was supposed to have made the announcement. And so he said, well, I never actually called for a meeting that day. We're having it the next day. And, well, Rajoy didn't have time to respond and say, well, you're not allowed to meet that day either.
Yeah.
And they went ahead and met like the day after everybody expected, declared independence, and then asked the parliament, hey, hold off on actually implementing this. I want to try,
so
being
they already
civilized here.
So they wrote a Declaration of Independence, or is that still coming? I don't know if that's been clear. That hasn't been made clear.
Wouldn't that be implementation?
Well, and here's the interesting thing that most Americans don't know about American independence. There was a Declaration of Independence that was passed on July the 2nd, 1776, where it was basically a one-sentence thing that said, we wish to declare independence from the British government.
Okay.
And then 48 hours later, there was the much longer thing that we know of as the Declaration of Independence.
Okay.
So, there are various ways to declare independence without actually having a really lengthy document.
All right. And so they've done that. They're going to implement officially that declaration very soon, because apparently the Spanish government...
Right. So let's jump back into
the Spanish government is saying they're going to pull the autonomy from the region, and that's going to happen tomorrow.
Right.
Saturday.
Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy said that an Article 155 action plan has been agreed to with the ruling majority, the Socialist and Ciudadanos, the fourth largest force in Spain's parliament, but he would not announce the details of the measure until after a special meeting of the cabinet on Saturday.
I'll tell you what the details are. It's violence.
Well, that's not a detail.
Moving in troops, moving in armed men, and basically occupying
That's
Catalonia.
an outline. That's not a detail.
Yeah.
A detail is we're going to arrest this person and then this person and then this person. They're not getting trials because treason.
Is there even any armed forces in Catalonia that are
like the
Catalonian?
military?
Yeah, they don't have.
There's
an armed
Catalan
forces,
police.
Right? But nothing military. No,
I don't think
no
so.
real
I don't
military.
know.
So there's no way for them to defend themselves.
Well, there might
when
be.
the Spanish government comes in and starts.
I don't know the
police.
answer to that question because I've got news stories in front of me. Not
you said
stuff
earlier
on
they were
whether or
talking
not
about
they have a military.
You were saying earlier though that they were talking about coming in and replacing the Catalan police. So we know they have a police force that is local
Part
to that
of
area.
155 is that the Spanish central government gets to replace the police. I don't know if they have a military. That's not been mentioned in any of the articles.
How many different countries have separate militaries for each area of their country?
Well, every state in the United States has a National Guard.
True. That's a good point.
The National Guard is technically run by the governor of the state.
Huh. All right.
Rajoy would only say, we have reached a critical point. Two influential grassroots separatist groups, the Catalan National Assembly and Òmnium Cultural, issued a call on social media for activists to take peaceful direct action on Friday. The groups, whose leaders have been detained since Monday pending investigation into sedition charges.
Those are the two we talked about.
The two Geordies. That's their names. They're not from Geordie, which is somewhere in UK. They were the groups specifically urged supporters to withdraw cash from the 5 main bank chains, quote-unquote, ideally between 8 and 9 a.m. Some protesters made symbolic withdrawals of 155 euros, a reference to Article 155 of the Spanish Constitution, which the Spanish government says they will impose. Others were opting for 1,714 euros in a nod to 1714, a highly symbolic date for independence supporters, marking the capture of Barcelona by the troops of King Philip V, who then moved to reduce the rights of rebellious regions. Roser Cobos, a 42-year-old lawyer who had just taken out 1,714 euros from the counter at a bank in Barcelona, said, "It's a way of protesting. We don't want to do any harm to the Spanish or Catalan economy." British leader Theresa May on Friday offered her support for the Spanish government as it deals with the deepest crisis in the country's 40-year democratic history.
Isn't that interesting?
Spain has a monarch. Why are they talking about democratic history?
Well, I mean, doesn't the UK government have a monarch as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
And didn't the UK government just go through with or they're going through with a Brexit proposal to leave the EU, but she's backing Spain? So the head of the British government, which is currently in the midst of secession.
But see, here's the difference. Spain's not trying to leave the European Union, and the European Union's not really a country. It kind of is a country, but not really a country, so it's not really secession when you just leave an organization of other countries.
All right, that's BS.
It is. Yeah. I'm just trying to rationalize why she might be supporting.
And that's a good, I think you are tapping into whatever it is she would have said.
The article here continues, echoing the message of other key European leaders, including France's Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Mrs. May said the Britons believe that people should be abiding by the rule of law and upholding the Spanish Constitution. Interesting choice of words, and that is a direct quote. That's not the Telegraph, paraphrasing what she said. Mariano Rajoy had asked Carles Puigdemont, the president of Catalonia, to clarify a suspended declaration of independence. He believed the Catalonian parliament he delivered to the Catalonian parliament after a disputed referendum on October 1st that was marred by violence. Yes, violence
by the police.
From the Spanish police trying to prevent people from voting. And then because
what's the
voters
source on
this? This is from the Telegraph.
Okay.
Because voters were being suppressed and told you're not allowed to go vote, and polling places were shut down. Turnout was only 43%, and then the international community says that's not a valid vote because voter turnout was low. 2 days later, here in Keene, New Hampshire, we had an election with voter turnout of 5%.
And everybody thought it was legit.
And it was considered legit, and the mayor has some kind of, high and mighty calling from on high because he got so many votes.
By the way, speaking of the Catalan military, it doesn't exist right now, but Puigdemont did call for one to be created back in late August. So I don't think it exists yet. More coming up. It's Free Talk Live.
Crimes of the Crown by Captain Mark. The Crown casts the world in shadow and claims to be our guiding light. Cowards clamor for security from boogeymen and ghost stories, while I say these hobgoblins are imaginary. I say those they propped up as our liberators are now subsisting on our bondage. I say there is freedom in the black, and that's exactly where we intend to go. The Crown banishes its own officers for exposing its crimes and tortures dissidents to the brink of madness. It dominates the globe and swallows the wealth of generations, leaving only blood and excrement. The Crown calls it piracy to explore frontiers beyond its grasp. So the time has come for us to define the conduct among pirates. I say the Crown has trampled our necks long enough. Need decentralized solutions to centralized problems? Looking for a community of like-minded scoundrels? Or just want some swag to let the Crown know what you think of it? Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com. We won't be hard to find.
How did you become addicted? A friend? Were you at a party and someone said, "Hey, try this"? Then you got the cold sweats and started shaking. And the more you did it, the more it didn't work. So you switched to the needle. Now you're a train wreck. Drinking, drugging, broke. Your family hates you. And you hate you. Get out of your hell on earth now. Call the Detox and Treatment Helpline today for immediate help. In many cases, your insurance may cover the costs. We can't guarantee it, but we can guarantee we have what you need to change your life for the better. Pick up your cell phone and call right now. 855-700-2979. 855-700-2979. 855-700-2979. That's 855-700-2979.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this hospital.
No, I have work today. This is...
You ain't going to make it.
Wait a minute.
Really Whoa!
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me?
Because you're scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1. Share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
You can connect with the Liberty Radio Network via our Facebook page at facebook.lrn.fm. That's facebook.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You dial toll free. Bring up anything you want. Our number here, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. If you want to support Free Talk Live, one of the best ways to do it is to amp the show. You go to amp.freetalklive.com. You can get signed up there. It is $5 a month, and that is money that we will invest into Free Talk Live so we can get on more radio stations, bring new internet listeners on board, and expose new people to the ideas of freedom. Plus, you get perks that others do not get because they're not amplifiers. Because you are an amplifier, you will get access to the AMP-only call-in lines, the AMP-only Facebook group, as well as the AMP-only podcast, and more. Go get all the details over at amp.freetalklive.com. Then sign up with any major credit card, for the most part, PayPal, and then also Bitcoin, if you would prefer. So head on over to amp.freetalklive.com, amp.freetalklive.com. And by the way, congratulations to Bitcoin today for going past $6,000 per Bitcoin for the very first time ever, according to BitcoinAverage.com. It's just been an amazing, wild ride, and we can talk more about Bitcoin later if necessary. But man, earlier this year it was as low as $1,000. So I mean, we're talking about 6 times what it was 10 months ago. I mean, it's crazy to watch it.
Yeah.
Where will it stop? Will the bubble pop as some are expecting? We don't know, and we can't say. It could happen. It could go down. It could keep going up. I still think probably the best thing if you want to get into Bitcoin, it's not too late, I don't think. But what do I know? If you want to get into it, remember, you shouldn't put in more than you can afford to lose. So I like the strategy Johnny Ray used, which was to get a little bit every week. Just, whatever you could afford to put away. If you got a paycheck or something like that, you can take 10% or something and put it towards Bitcoin, something that's not going to impact your budget too much, something you can afford to put into it. Then it might work out real well for you.
Yes.
Something to consider. All right, so let's continue here. Darryl, you've got a little bit more from the Telegraph in the UK about Catalonia. This weekend, it's looking to be like a bit of a showdown here, at least politically. We don't know if we don't know if the military of Spain is going to be brought in. We're not sure exactly how violent the Spanish government is going to get and how quickly, but they are going to get violent, likely, if the Catalonian region continues to press for independence, continues to declare independence, which is what they're expected to do in response to the Spanish government invoking its Article 155 and cracking down and basically trying to take over the region.
Yes, and the article here continues. It says Prime Minister Rajoy has been reluctant to become the first Spanish leader to trigger Article 155, but now appears to have ensured that he will have an overwhelming majority when the Senate votes to approve the step, which could happen next Friday. In a letter sent earlier this week to Rajoy...
Wait, which Senate's going to approve? The Catalan Senate?
The Spanish Senate. Why would the Catalan Senate vote on Rajoy invoking Article 155?
Okay, I missed that. For whatever reason, I thought that was happening tomorrow.
No, he's announcing that they're going to do it, but then apparently the Senate has to vote on
Friday. Okay.
Right.
So tomorrow, the Spanish king or whoever, or the president of
Prime Minister
Rajoy, he's going to announce officially that then Friday the Senate can then vote on imposing Article 155.
That's what it sounds like.
Got it. Okay.
Now, why they didn't have
like
that at the beginning of the article, but continuing on. In a letter sent earlier in the week to Rajoy, Carles Puigdemont, president of Catalonia, said that if Article 155 was invoked, he would retaliate by asking the region's parliament to vote on a formal declaration of independence.
And hopefully they'll do that before Friday.
Sounds like they might wind up doing that this weekend.
They could.
Because he's saying, if you say you're invoking this, I'm going to do X.
Right.
Puigdemont has been in talks with his pro-independence allies in recent days over whether to call early elections, but his number 2, Catalan Vice President Oriol Junqueras, said on Friday that calling elections now is not the best way forward. Now, something that might wind up being confusing, and this from me, not the article here, because the article did mention earlier that the Spanish government is going to have Catalan elections in January, possibly. So if the Catalan regional government, headed by Carles Puigdemont, also has an election, then, which election do I vote in? I forgot, which one. And then, of course, it's not mentioned in here, but most likely what would happen if the Spanish government says you're having an election is they would then say anybody who declares allegiance to the Catalan Republic is not allowed to run in the Spanish Catalan elections. According to the self-proclaimed roadmap to independence charted out by Puigdemont and his allies, the next step after declaring independence would be to call elections to a constituent assembly, which would then draw up a constitution for the new Republic of Catalonia.
And so the argument against having elections for Catalonia by Catalonia at this point, because again, one of them said we shouldn't do that right now.
Right, that's the vice president.
The argument there is, hey, look, you've got us in here. We're moving forward with this thing. We don't need to be changing out, the characters at this early stage in the game.
The saying from Wag the Dog, don't change horses midstream.
So, but the argument against that is, well, of course these guys don't want to have elections. They want to keep their power. They want to keep, their rule over the Catalan region. I think that the argument seems sound that, well, let's just hold off until we can actually get out from underneath the Spanish government's restrictions, which, of course, who knows how long that's going to take on the other hand. So I would say play it by ear, but I can understand kind of both sides, and I'm sure there's another viewpoint as well. If you want to share, by the way, your thoughts with us, you're welcome to join us, 855-450 free like freedom. But this is fascinating because, on this show we've talked about the idea of secession in a lot of cases, and this is we're actually watching it happen in as peaceful, like the Catalan people are being as peaceful as they possibly can. I've not seen anything about Catalonian folks smashing, destroying property, and being just generally despicable. It's the Spanish government that has been doing the despicable, violent acts. They've been showing themselves. They've been giving people reasons to leave. The people who were on the fence before and during the election saw what the Spanish government was doing with the violence that they were engaging in, and that actually pushed those people off the fence into opposing the Spanish government. So really the Spanish government's its own worst enemy in this case, and it's interesting to watch. Generally in our lifetimes, governments have dominated one specific landmass. And you don't have, unless it's like the federal government and state government where they're all kind of allied together, you've never really had a situation. Well, I mean, you probably have. I just don't know it because this is happening during my lifetime. But, I haven't seen a situation like this where you basically have two governments claiming jurisdiction on the same plot of land. Could that continue on? And for how long? Like, if the Spanish government comes in and says, well, we're having our elections, and the Catalan people say, well, we're having our elections, and there's two completely different groups that have been elected there over the same landmass, how long can that last for?
Well, there actually are a handful of places right now in other places not named Catalonia where there are, pseudo-autonomous entities, and then the national government doesn't really recognize them. So like South Ossetia, Abkhazia, a bunch of places in the former Soviet Union.
Like Cameroon, where they have...
Cameroon's not part of former Soviet Union.
No, I'm not talking about the Soviet Union. I'm giving another example of there's an autonomous, or we want to be autonomous region kind of thing there, where they call it Ambazonia, I believe.
Yeah, so there are some places, not many of them wind up having much exposure outside of limited areas. Yeah. The article here from the Telegraph concludes that the separatist left-wing CUP party, which supports the Catalan government, has suggested they would consider a boycott of any election imposed on the region by Spain. And the BBC says, assuming the participation of all parties, the voters would be bound to interpret an election set up by the Catalonians as a de facto plebiscite on independence. If a separatist majority emerged once again, it's hard to see how the conflict could be considered closed.
If you want to join us here, 855-450 free like freedom. That's what makes this so interesting is, this is not ending anytime soon as much as both sides would like that to be the case.
I wonder, because the Telegraph mentions that, the CUP might boycott any election imposed on Catalonia by the Spanish government. Might the Spanish government just tell the CUP, you're not allowed to participate because you support independence?
The toll-free number, I'm sure we're going to find out. It's going to get very interesting. We'll keep you in the loop as it develops. Our number is 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Coming up, the story that Chris teased last week about terms of service. It's fascinating stuff. Believe it or not, it's Free Talk Live.
Kiyosaki, Rogers, and Schiff all concur there's an economic calamity that facing this country. My question to you is, do you know when, and are you prepared? Most people don't, but my friends over at Republic Monetary Exchange have been leading experts in precious metals to help you offset the coming economic collapse. Right now, for a limited time, they have a free book called The 10 Reasons You Should Own Gold. You simply need to give them a call at 888-772-2929 to get that in your hands. Do not allow the insiders to do what they did to you in 2000. Putting your IRAs, 401ks, and savings in jeopardy. You need this book, and you need it now. The 10 Reasons You Should Own Gold. Call 888-772-2929. That's 888-772-2929. There's a reason that the largest investment banking company in the world, JP Morgan, just purchased another 50 million ounces of silver. This free book will explain it. 888-772-2929.
Imagine, if you will, a virtual world, a symbiotic economy with its own currency, where you can barter your services with others. Symbi.com is a marketplace of real people exchanging skills and services, from web developers, marketers, video production specialists, and teachers of all sorts, to gaming consulting or fitness coaching. Symbi.com is a vast world of people trading freely. Take my word for it, it's an adventure you can't afford to miss. Simbi.com.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, October 20th, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.17 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,284 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 2.6 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $5,670. Antiwar.com reports Catalonia ignored the most recent ultimatum from Spain on disavowing their independence referendum on Thursday, and Spanish officials have announced that they will begin the process of seizing direct control over the region and revoking all of its historical autonomy on Saturday. This move was announced by Spanish officials despite repeated warnings from Catalan President Carles Puigdemont that any attempt to remove their autonomy would lead to Catalonia declaring full independence from Spain. Catalonia held a referendum on October 1st in which an overwhelming majority supported independence. Spain insisted the referendum did not count, and Spanish police injured over 800 voters in a violent crackdown, which has also increased support for the Declaration of Independence. Puigdemont signed an independence declaration last week, but suspended its implementation pending talks with Spain. Spanish officials, however, have ruled out talks and are threatening to jail a number of additional Catalan leaders for sedition. The rest of the EU is largely supporting Spain in the measure, many fearing a successful Catalan secession would bolster such moves around the continent. One EU diplomat also said many have not much to gain from backing Barcelona and a lot to lose from angering Madrid. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports the Missouri Court of Appeals threw out a judgment against Johnson & Johnson that would have sent $72 million to a woman's family who claims she died of ovarian cancer from contact with the company's talcum baby powder. The Missouri Eastern District Court of Appeals on Tuesday ruled the state was not the proper jurisdiction because the 62-year-old woman was from Birmingham, Alabama. The judges cited a U.S. Supreme Court decision in June that ruled the plaintiff's claims must have a connection to the state where the lawsuit is filed. In February 2016, a circuit court jury in St. Louis ordered the company to pay the family $10 million in actual damages and $62 million in punitive damages. Jacqueline Fox died 4 months before the trial. Fox believes she had been using Johnson & Johnson talc-based products for more than 25 years. She was among 65 plaintiffs, including only 2 from Missouri who joined the lawsuit. In 3 other St. Louis jury verdicts, more than $200 million total was awarded against the New Jersey-based healthcare giant. Plaintiffs were from California, South Dakota, Tennessee, and Virginia, and all but one prevailed. Johnson & Johnson said in a statement, "We consistently argued that there was no jurisdiction, and we expect the existing verdicts that we are appealing to be reversed." Johnson & Johnson currently faces 5,500 claims in U.S. courts. In 2115 New England, there are no borders, no states, and no regulations, yet never has a more peaceful and prosperous place existed. But Mr. Drake's security company has seen better days. Faced with the prospect of waning power, Mr. Drake intends to replace the anarchy of New England with a government. But at what cost? And can anyone stop him? Anarchy in New England by Joe Jarvis is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. Reuters reports the California Department of Insurance said on Thursday its preliminary estimates for insured wildfire losses at $1.05 billion based on claims received by the state's 8 largest insurers, adding they expect the number to rise. California Insurance Commissioner Dave Jones, during a media call, said that insurers have received 601 claims for commercial property losses, 4,177 claims for partial residential losses, and 3,000 claims for auto losses. Since eruption erupting on October 8th and 9th. The blazes in parts of Northern California have blackened more than 245,000 acres and destroyed an estimated 6,900 structures as of Thursday, including homes, wineries, and other commercial buildings. CAL FIRE said more than 15,000 people remain displaced. Moody's estimates insured losses at $4.6 billion. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
A civilian casualty is flattered to have been mistaken for a Hamas leader, and an asexually reproduced sea sponge is worried she's turning into herself. This news summary is best enjoyed in a state of leisurely repose, so sit back, relax, and let the waves of condensed news gently lap at your brain. This is the Onion Week in Review. Hoping to foster a lifelong connection to the airline, Delta announced the launch of its official alumni magazine, Flown, this week, a quarterly publication for people who have been passengers with the airline at some point in the past. A press release from Delta confirmed that the magazine will feature obituaries, wedding announcements, and profiles of prominent flyers that celebrate the shared experiences and interests of the airline's 900 million alumni.
I think it's a nice thing for Delta to do. I mean, it's always interesting to just skim through an issue, see what the old boarding group's up to. It kind of makes me nostalgic for the few hours back when I was on that flight to Tampa. Simpler days.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live. You dial toll-free, bring up what you want as we launch into the second hour of the program. Our number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've been talking a lot about secession tonight, and actually there's a little bit more that we can get to, but also I wanted to get into the story that Chris had brought in. Chris is here from thinkpenguin.com with Ian and Darryl. Last week that we never really even got to. We just barely started talking about terms of service, which apparently you're going to tell us that a Supreme Court decision has upheld that it is illegal to violate some terms of service, and we'll tell you more about that. But first, to the phones, to your calls and thoughts. Johnny is in Auburn, New York. Johnny, you're on Free Talk Live. Hello.
Hello, how are you, sir?
Hey, you're on the radio. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Yes, I have a thought. I was just assaulted.
Oh, no.
And I had to yell, oh, my God, I'm shaking. Now I feel better because the cops left, and they refused to believe me. I had a man pull a gun in my face and threatened me with my life. He assaulted me. I'm bleeding right now.
Yikes.
Okay?
Why are you calling talk radio? Shouldn't you be, doing something about the bleeding wound?
I'm covered. I got ice on it. I'm good. I'm calmed down.
All right.
I'm good now. But listen,
no, you didn't get shot, did you?
Oh, my God, no.
Okay.
He threw the gun away before the cops got here.
How did you start bleeding? What happened there?
He hit me in the head with the gun.
Oh.
Okay. What end of the gun? What was it, a rifle that he just came up and like?
No. Let me tell you what happened. First of all, I know this guy. He shut my house last night. He was here the other night when the cops were here, and I told him to, suck my whatever because I had no warrant. They tried to get in. They stayed in my porch and harassed me because they know that all the cops. Listen, I live in Mayberry, RFD. There's a bubble. There's no black police officers. They're all white, middle classes. I'm telling you.
All right, hold on. I'm a little confused.
I'm more than a little confused. I'm super confused.
So you had an encounter with the police on a previous night. Who's the
2 nights ago, sir.
And the person involved in that encounter is the same person who hit you with a gun tonight?
No, he was laying on the floor scared for his life. He thought I was going to get shot. I was trying to do suicide by cop because I'm crazy. But I'm also very smart, sir. And I know the law. And I appreciate you, Mark. Is this Mark I'm
Mark's
talking
not
to?
on. He's not on tonight. He's actually in the studio listening to you. So he can actually hear you right now, but he's not on the radio. But let me just see if I've got this straight, Johnny. I don't want to keep interrupting you here, but I have to because I need to make sure I've got this straight. Because you just told us you're crazy, so now we have to really try our best to understand what it is that you're saying. So you attempted to kill yourself last night via suicide by cop, which is where you will put yourself. One might put oneself in a situation in which the police might be inclined to shoot. One in hopes that the police will shoot, one in the hopes that one will die at the hands of the police because one is suicidal. That's what that means. So you said the guy who attacked you tonight with the gun butt it was on the floor in the location where you tried to suicide by cop. Was this your home? Where did you try to suicide by cop?
In my home, sir.
And so why was this guy in your home who later decided to attack you?
He was a homeless person. I take in homeless person. I show love to everyone.
That is great. That is great. And sometimes you end up with a dangerous, drug-addled homeless person who decides to try to attack you. So what was the attack about tonight? Why did you end up getting hit with a gun butt?
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll give you a short version. Because
Yeah,
I don't have
please.
time.
I really appreciate that.
Sir. Okay, short version. We had an argument. He went ballistic. He started throwing dishes. I said, get out of my house. He hit me in the head.
Man, he's not even having sex with you, right? Be throwing dishes like that. It's outrageous.
No.
That's the kind of stuff you get from an abusive girlfriend.
I don't know the guy.
Was the argument over drugs? Be honest.
No.
No. All right. What was it about?
I don't do drugs. The argument was over, why don't you do the dishes when I make you something to eat? And he went ballistic.
Okay, hold on.
So what did you make to eat?
Wait, who wanted who to make the food?
I made spaghetti, and he ate it like 2 hours ago. I said, why are the dishes? I went to go get some more food for him to eat.
The ungrateful bastard. You made him dinner, and he didn't do the dishes? That is... There's no wonder that guy's a homeless person. He doesn't know how to get along with other human beings. So he got mad about that?
Mad? He started throwing dishes and breaking dishes. I said, you have to leave, sir.
You said that to him?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, that is one way to not have to wash the dishes.
Did he pull his own gun and attack you with it, or did he grab one of your guns?
I don't have a gun. I don't own a gun, sir.
Okay.
I don't believe in violence.
So after attacking you with dishes, he then came at you with the butt of his weapon?
After I told him to get out, I pushed him, and then he hit me in the head twice.
Oof.
And then I said, I pushed him again, and then he hit me a third time, and then he put, because I'm going to kill you, MF. You know, MF, whatever.
Yeah, thank you for not saying it. I appreciate that. We are on the radio.
Sir, I'm very coherent right now. I haven't had a beer in 2 days.
All right.
I'm doing quite well.
Yeah, congratulations.
And then he put the gun on me, and I slammed the door shut, and I thought I was going to die right then and there. I locked the door as quick as I could. I called 911. I said, get off my porch, leave my property. I'm calling 911. You got a chance to run. This is your chance to run. Because they're going to come get you. They're going to come get you. Run. That was what happened.
Wow. All right. So now what?
Okay. The cops come. Now, they were here 2 nights ago. And this is what is whole. And now, I'm going to 2 words for you. Cop block. Now, I respect Mark because he did time in jail because of cop block situation scenario. I've heard you guys.
Cop block wasn't around back in 1989 when Mark went to prison.
Okay, well, I'm calling it that now because that's what I did the other night.
I wouldn't say what Mark did was cop blocking. I mean, I guess technically because he didn't talk to the cops.
He's even shaking his head.
He's shaking his head. Nope, not a cop blogger.
Wait, I stand corrected. Forgive me. I stand corrected. I only listen to you guys in bits and pieces, and when you get bits and pieces, you draw your own information, you assume things.
Well, you don't have to do that. You know, we have a website, freetalklive.com, where you can download.
I don't have a computer. I'm autistic. I don't use computers. I wrote the book, The Autistic Holocaust. My son, who's autistic.
There he goes. He finally plugged the book. You know, that was actually the longest.
I don't have a computer. I don't own a computer. I don't have a smartphone. I got a dumb phone.
How did you write the book? Did you use a typewriter?
No, sir. I used a computer, but I didn't know how to turn it on. So my son taught me. It took me 18 months to write this book. It took me 10,000 hours of notes. I got notes piled feet to the ceiling. It's a national best-selling book. By trying
well, I tell you what, you keep your ice on that head wound. Glad you made it through it. Maybe it's time to reconsider letting total strangers into your house. But you know, I can appreciate where you're coming from, and I do appreciate the generosity. And you know, sometimes no good deed goes unpunished. Yes, as long as it's not plugging your book. Go ahead.
No, forget the book. Screw the book. I didn't want to mention the book. It's habitual. I can't help it. I'm never going to mention it again when I call him. But I got a guy calling tonight that purchased the book, and he's 82 years old. He saved my life. I needed food and bread and water, and he bought a book from me, and he's going to call in at 9 o'clock. He's a lawyer, Mark Contaguglia, the best lawyer in Auburn. His son is the best defense attorney. That's my lawyer.
That is fantastic. Johnny, I want to say thank you for the call here tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. Interesting story.
Yeah.
So there might be some lessons.
I don't even know what to say.
There might be some lessons there. Now, you know, I can appreciate where he's coming from. Showing generosity is definitely an honorable character trait. However, If you are going to show generosity to a homeless man or whoever, a homeless family or woman or whatever that comes into your home, it's probably not a good idea to go ahead and stage a police shooting there right in front of that person. I mean, that could be a little terrifying. I could understand why somebody might be a little off-put. I mean, he didn't leave after that, so that's another sign that maybe he's not right in the head, the homeless guy. I mean, because if you're in a home, I mean, I guess it is getting cold out there, so maybe the homeless guy was thinking, well, it's cold outside, or stay here with this man who wants the police to kill him. I guess I'll stay with the police killing guy.
I can find a sleeping bag somewhere.
Yeah.
What would you do?
I'm speechless. The whole story is just insane.
Well, if you thought that was insane, wait till you hear our next callers. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And yes, we do prove it all the time that we'll take your calls about absolutely anything. All you have to do is be able to dial a phone number to get on
have
the
somebody
radio
dial it for
and
you.
hand it to you. That's right. Toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. Or if you're really technically inclined, you can call us on Skype. Skype username is lrn.fm, and you can bring up whatever you want. This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE like freedom.
The young lady from the rescue delivered happy, and I panicked. He was missing hair, stinky, scabby, and I thought, what did I get us into? The cause of his issue was poor nutrition. It was neglect. The other owners didn't care enough about him to give him the nutrition he needed. But I have a vet that I trust, and she recommended Dinovite, DINOVITE.com. I ordered the first 90-day supply, and within a couple weeks, his skin started clearing up. He didn't smell. He had more energy. He just had a glow and a bounce about him. We've been using Dinovite for the last year, and Happy the rescue dog is Happy the healthy dog. I tell all my friends who have rescues to give their dog the chance at a new start with Dinovite. It's going to pay off for you and your dog for years to come.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
I got my Blink home security system delivered right to my door. I downloaded the app and it walked me right through the easy setup. Even with my complicated router system, I was done in like 10 minutes. Now it notifies me whenever something moves in front of the wireless cameras, or I can just check it whenever I want right from my phone. And I got you a deal. Get 3 Blink cams for what the other guys charge you for 1, plus an extra 10% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Do you want to help build a better financial system for everyone? Join Dash. Dash is Digital Cash, a digital money platform designed to replace cash and help people manage their own wealth. It's fast and easy, fees are low, and transactions are confirmed instantly. Dash is decentralized, run by users who earn rewards for helping run the network and make governance decisions. Dash is set up to succeed where other platforms have failed. Give it a try at Dash.org. Help people take control over their financial future today. Find out more at Dash.org.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
For years, LRN.FM has had a listen line that you can call and listen to LRN.FM anytime. Now we're taking the idea to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line. You can call 641-793-9660 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed, and you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 641-793-9660 and choose from the menu. 641-793-9660.
Hi, this is Mark Edge of Free Talk Live. Michael W. Dean's book, User's Manual for the Human Experience, changed my life. In a culture that attempts to turn you into a compliant victim, this book gives you implementable steps on everything from how to be aware of your environment, walking down the street, to business, to how to handle a toxic person in your life. If you're a human, you need to read this book at least once. Go to Amazon and get the Kindle version, or paperback, or an audiobook of A User's Manual for the Human Experience.
While our satellite channel is free to listen to, it's not free for us. You can help us cover our satellite costs with the chip-in on the right side of the page at lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You dial in toll-free, you bring up what you want, and take control of the airwaves. 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Of course, a lot of people in the cryptocurrency community are talking about Bitcoin and the new record high prices that happened a little bit earlier this afternoon, with, according to BitcoinAverage.com, the price hitting as high as somewhere around, I think, 6,040 or something in that range. It's been an amazing day for Bitcoin, and again, record 6,065. According to BitcoinAverage.com, was the peak today. It's right at around 5,970 at the moment. And if you're interested in learning more about Bitcoin, well, we're about to enter a very interesting month. It's going to be kind of a redo of what had happened in August, on August 1st, when Bitcoin Cash split off, the very first time ever that Bitcoin hard forked into two separate competing Bitcoin-named currencies. And we may be seeing that happen a third time next week with the Bitcoin Gold program, and then again in a major way coming up in mid-November. I think it's expected to be like November 18th at this point. It can depend, so we'll see if there's a very specific block that needs to be mined in order for this SegWit 2x hard fork to happen. We're not going to get into all the details on what that means tonight, but if you want to learn more about Bitcoin, let's just say these are interesting times, and we don't know what's going to happen with these hard forks. The last time the Bitcoin price went up after it hard forked, and people who had Bitcoin ended up making money because the Bitcoin price went up, and then the new Bitcoin Cash thing came out, and that was worth like a few $100 right off the bat. Yeah. So you got Bitcoin now at $6,000 per. Bitcoin Cash is at around $300 per, and that's wealth that just wasn't there before the fork. So the question, of course, is: are these next forks going to result in more accumulated wealth, or is the price going to go down after one of these upcoming forks? Because the one that happens in November, the SegWit 2x one, is expected to be very contentious, and there could be a real mining war between the different sides of Bitcoin, and it could be a scary situation, I think, for people to get into. But if it works out, then everybody wins. If it doesn't work out, then, well, you never know what's going to happen. So don't put money in that you can't afford to lose. But if you want to learn about Bitcoin, please go to Bitcoin.com. If you want to take a side on the Bitcoin mining conflict that is happening now and will possibly get worse over the next several weeks, then you can go to pool.bitcoin.com and you can get into the Bitcoin mining pool there, as Mark and I have done. Pool.bitcoin.com. It's super easy to use their calculator right there on the front page of the site to help you understand what you could be making based on what you invest over at pool.bitcoin.com. Let's go to your calls and thoughts. We got Bill. He is calling us from Indianapolis. Bill, it says here you're listening to WIBC, but normally they only air us on Saturday nights. Are you just normally in Indy and the board op put that there, or are we actually on IBC tonight?
Well, to be honest, I'm calling from my truck. I'm a truck driver, and I'm just listening on the radio. I call on the phone.
Right on. So welcome to Free Talk Live. What's on your mind tonight?
Thank you. I wanted to talk about abortion and the freedom of choice and the right to life.
Okay.
Roe versus Wade in 1973. I actually feel bad and guilty, and that's why I wanted to clear. I've been holding this in for a long time, and you guys make me feel good. That's why I call. And the thing is, my girlfriend had an abortion. She wanted to have the girl in 1973. We had a baby. We didn't have a baby girl because I insisted she had an abortion because her father wanted to kill me. So I didn't want her dad to know. And this is weighing heavily on my mind. And maybe it's the reason I drink too much or whatever, but I'm not trying to park. I can only drive. I got to log everything. I drive all across the country. I'm parked now. I'm safe. I had a couple beers, but I listened to you guys, and I never called. I've listened to you guys for a couple years now. And so I just wanted to tell you.
So you said your girlfriend had an abortion, and that was back in, when was it, the 70s?
Okay, Wade versus Roe, they came out in 73. In 74, she had an abortion. Just when the law came, it was okay to have an abortion.
And you're sad about that.
Sad? I've been carrying this guilt for the last how many years? Do the math. Since 73.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to encourage everybody, if they're pregnant, have the baby. Have the baby. In fact,
are you saying that people who are not ready to have children should go ahead and have them anyway, just because?
Absolutely. There's so many families. I did a lot of research on this. I said I have a foster. I just adopted 8 kids. Okay, 8 kids. 8 kids.
That's a lot of kids to adopt. Do they normally let you adopt 8 at once? I mean, that seems pretty unusual.
No, it is very unusual, sir. But I happen to have several properties. I'm a multimillionaire. And I came from...
Why are you driving trucks?
I like to drive trucks. I like to. I do because I like to do it. Not because I have to do it.
That's cool. You do it for a living? Or?
Well, he doesn't need to make a living. He's just doing it for fun.
I don't need to work for... I do it for fun. And my father, Alan, by the way, was a professional baseball player.
Let's get back into the abortion topic. I know it's radio hell.
I'm curious what kind of truck you drive. Like, do you drive a big 18-wheeler, or you've just got like a Ford F-350 that you drive across the country?
Yeah, I was a little confused.
It's a $750,000 unit, sleeper cab.
Yeah, that's a real deal.
It's a reefer truck. I got a hazmat license and a Class C and everything.
Sweet. All right, so let's get back into the abortion discussion, because I understand people feel very strongly about this, and I would never say it's an easy decision for somebody to make. I don't think at any point most people do not want to have to make the decision to have an abortion, but I think a lot of people look at their life and they say, well, this isn't what we were planning for. This isn't...
Nobody planned for it.
Plenty of people plan for having children. Maybe your parents didn't.
Huh? I didn't want any children. I did not want a kid, and I didn't have one on purpose, okay? Now, I'm sorry.
And you're regretting it later.
Yes.
But basically, you're arguing for people who don't want to have children because you think it would have benefited you. But isn't it possible that won't benefit everyone?
That's not what I'm saying, sir.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that life is more important than anything. There's nothing more.
But what good is life if you're being, if it's being lived in an abusive household by somebody who doesn't want to have a child and who's willing to actually...
Exactly. That's why they have foster care. That's why they have...
Have you heard about foster care? I don't know if you're just tuning in here to life in the year 2017, but foster care is a horrible thing in a lot of cases to force on a child.
May I talk, sir? My last girlfriend went through foster care. She was raped.
Are you Johnny?
What? What?
I said, are you Johnny from Auburn, New York?
No.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what somebody who's listening said.
The same speaking manner, because there was a guy that just called that kept saying, "Let me explain, sir," and kept saying "sir" a lot.
Oh, really?
And had the same sort of vocal mannerisms.
We only have one call per night, but
right. That's why I'm asking if this is Johnny.
No.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
Okay.
Let's just move along here. So you want to force people to have children, or just persuade them?
No, I'm encouraging people, instead of getting an abortion, to give your child up to a family that loves them and will take care of them.
Okay. I mean, I think that's a fine idea. If you can find a family that actually wants you to have the child and is willing to, pay you to have the child, pay you to put you through the hospitals and doctors and all that stuff, then...
Yeah, that's not really legal.
That makes... but it would make sense. Thanks for the call tonight, Bill.
It would make sense.
The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live.
ProPure water filters. Most trusted, most tested. Right now, you can save 25% on the ProPure Nomad gravity system. Visit an authorized ProPure dealer for details. That's PROPUR.
Advertising your business with GCN is simple, effective, and more affordable than you might think. Visit advertise.gcnlive.com for more info. Take your business to the next level. That's advertise.gcnlive.com.
This just in. Before your doctor gives you another antibiotic prescription that you don't want, get this free report, The Miracle of Garlic, your first home medicine. This free report is filled with easy kitchen remedies for common colds, flus, sore throats, ear infections, and more. Plus, learn to boost your immunity before you get sick. Go now to gcnwellness.com. Just like it sounds, gcnwellness.com to get your free report, The Miracle of Garlic. Click gcnwellness.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Free speech is protected on the internet, right? Not always. Government agencies try to limit free speech and commerce on the net. Luckily, when they do, the Institute for Justice is there to defend your First Amendment right to free speech. IJ helped set the first federal precedent for internet free speech in 1999. And ever since has worked to prevent unconstitutional roadblocks in cyberspace. Visit our website today at ij.org.
The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1. Share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program. You likely buy all kinds of things online. Amazon is the largest online retailer. You can get what you need at the same prices with free Super Saver shipping by going to shop.freetalklive.com. Please do your online shopping at shop.freetalklive.com.
Money, power, and respect are all yours at creditsuccesssecretsrevealed.com. Be seen as an industry leader. You can do it. The last application you filled out when it was time to hit submit, did your nerves spike? You didn't get the approval you seek, but there's a better way. We teach you exactly what to place into the right systems the right way the first time so you get approved. Get up to $100,000 in instant business credit. Many people will get cash on the spot. Use those two tools in your new corporate credit engine so you can walk into the bank and get your project funded today. It's all about today at creditsuccesssecretsrevealed.com. Credit Success Secrets Revealed is explosive and ignites instant results. Dial 1-800-707-8719. That's 1-800-707-8719. 1-800-707-8719. Or just go to creditsuccesssecretsrevealed.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, and you can bring up what you want. Just dial toll-free to join us here at 855-450-FREE. Like freedom, 855-450-3733. And you may Skype in to join us at Skype username LRN.FM. If you would like to try the very same pillow that Darryl and I and Mark all use when we go to sleep at night, you ought to check out MyPillow. I had never heard of the MyPillow before because I didn't watch TV. And they apparently have a really amazing ad campaign. And now they're on board with Free Talk Live, and they have been for going on, I think we're going up on year number 2, about a year and a half into this, using MyPillow, and it's been great. You can get your own, and you can wash and dry MyPillow, which is one of the most unique features I've ever seen in a pillow. It's also designed to fit to the shape of your body and hold your neck in the proper position. You can go and get yours with code FTL to get 50% off over at MyPillow.com. That's MyPillow.com. Use code FTL like Free Talk Live. Get 1 at half off, 2 for the price of 1. Pillow's going to last you for at least 10 years, according to the warranty. And if for some reason in the first 60 days you don't like it, you can send it back to them, and they will send your purchase price back to you. MyPillow.com. Use code FTL to get the deep discount as we go to your calls and thoughts. He is Ricky in Ricky in Pennsylvania. I almost said you were over in the state of New Jersey, Ricky. Go ahead.
Thank you there, brother Ian. And the rest of you from the state of New Hampshire, aren't you glorious?
I personally don't believe in states, but brothers. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, quick point here.
I'm sure it'll be quick.
Cantwell.
Yes.
Yes.
The racist, white nationalist protester who was arrested down in Charlottesville, Virginia.
And last I looked, a human being, but some don't seem to agree with that, brothers.
He is a human being. Technically he is a human being, but ultimately he's kind of a nasty man in a lot of ways, and I say that as somebody who is relatively close to him. He's a hard man to be friends with. Let me tell you that.
Well, peace, love, and understanding is through love and understanding we achieve peace. But nonetheless,
I agree with
man
that.
got rights.
He should have rights.
Denied.
Unfortunately, he is being denied them in the form of being kept in a jail cell pre-trial with no bail able to be set.
Quick question. I might have a possible
This was
answer.
over a pepper spray allegation. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, has he has tried to call the ACLU, correct?
I have no idea who he has tried to call.
He might want to try it again if he has already. He might be able to get some help. But if he can't, I might have some.
Yeah? What are you going to do?
Well, Mark gave me an interesting idea, and I tried to cover this the other night, and I think we can get over it, when he mentioned about shooting those piggies between the eyes, the best way, too.
You're talking about actual, farm animals, right?
Yes.
Right.
Of course, Brother Darryl.
Wow. Yeah. Which, of course, Mark would never do because that would be illegal. But go ahead.
What, shooting a piggy between the eyes is the best way to do it.
Right,
Yeah,
but
he's a
Mark
felon.
is prohibited from possessing a firearm.
That was just theater for on the radio.
Theater.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, that being said, as far as the right that can't be taken away.
Did you just rack a slide on a firearm?
That was rolling a cigarette, brother.
Oh, okay.
That's all right. We're going to do that another night. In fact, this is the idea here. I was talking to you the other night, and you gave me a great idea. I'm Ricky from the Commonwealth. Your brother Ian, you got next to your brother Darryl, he brother Mark, And I was sitting here thinking, this is the Commonwealth of Virginia, and they lost their sovereignty May 9th, 1865. Now, Pennsylvania have a little bit of trouble in the state screwing us over, but we still have ours, and we're fighting for our freedom and independence. So I think.
Hold on, let me see if I'm following you. Did you just say that Virginia lost their sovereignty, so they're not a commonwealth, or they still are a commonwealth?
They're still a commonwealth. He's just saying they're not a sovereign commonwealth.
But you're saying Pennsylvania is a sovereign commonwealth?
Right on, brother Ian.
Uh-huh.
Now,
Why? Why is that?
Why is that?
Yeah. Is that just true in your head, Ricky, or is there some actual facts behind this?
Yeah, there is, but do we want to get into that tonight?
No, you're right. I don't.
Right,
he's probably going to mention Article 26, 25, and 2
of the Pennsylvania Constitution. Yeah. All right.
Okay,
so
now,
what about it, man? What's all this have to do with shooting pigs?
Well, he gave me this idea because it's a right they can't take away. In all honesty,
what is
now
the right to bear arms?
The right to bear bacon.
Correct. They can make it hard to get.
Can you make bacon from a bear?
But here's the idea.
Bear bacon.
That's an idea.
Because you have the right to bear bacon.
Now, Brother Ian,
Yes.
what I wanted to ask you, and there's a reason for this. When you open carry, what is your sidearm of choice?
That's none of your business.
Okay, but you do carry sidearm. How about you, Brother Darryl? Do you ever open carry?
I plead the 1st, 5th, 9th,
the 26th, the 20.
The
Okay,
12th.
here we go with this.
The
I had a
3rd.
great idea. Now,
Why are you being so nosy? What do you want? What do you want?
well, here's my idea. That's the Commonwealth of Virginia. This is the Commonwealth of
Are
Pennsylvania.
you drunk tonight?
No.
No? Haven't been drinking at all?
Previous caller was. Now, give me a break.
All right.
All right. Now, that's the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania here. That's the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Just sound
there.
like you're slurring a little bit tonight. That's all. It just sounds a little bit like you're a little slower than you normally are.
He didn't
You're a
take
little-
notes while he was on hold.
A little stumbly, but that's okay.
All
I just
right,
was
now,
asking.
Commonwealth here, Commonwealth there. I'm a deputy of the Commonwealth. Now, I'm this great idea. Now, imagine,
deputy of the Commonwealth.
just imagine this. We come in, we go down in your vehicle there, Ian. Now, hear me out. We dress all in black. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. You know, all dressed in black. I always wear a long coat and a big old wide brim hat. And then you got Brother Dow, you got Brother Mark, and myself. Now, hear me out. Now, we go down the Commonwealth of Virginia. And, you know.
And then what?
Carry your sidearm.
Get arrested.
Yeah, apparently.
What will happen? You got your sidearm of choice. Darryl got his. We put Mark on shotgun, and I'll be carrying a 45.
I'm just glad I'm not in on all this.
What's the goal of this jaunt to Virginia?
I'm going to tell you. We go
Bacon.
down there, and see, here's where Christopher Cantwell having problems, and you were right. Going down to Virginia, bad idea, because he's from the state of New Hampshire. And this Commonwealth of Virginia.
No, he's from New York.
Going to Virginia was a bad idea because there was a clash between white nationalists and anti-fascists. And if Chris Cantwell wanted to continue his radio career, he should have just stayed home and broadcast from the safety of his own home. He probably still would be here
So
today.
what do you want to do once you get to Virginia?
With guns.
I think Christopher Cantwell, this go on way too long, needs some help.
Oh, you want to break him out?
The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Now, we go down there. That's Commonwealth law. I got jurisdiction regardless of the state.
You have jurisdiction to do what?
Deputize you boys.
Huh?
Deputize you boys. I ain't saying I'm going to do it, but it was a thought.
But then
I
what?
could deputize you. I could deputize Darryl.
Why do you have to take us all the way to Virginia with a bunch of guns to deputize us?
Who's giving what? How am I being forced into some deputization? I don't want to be deputized by nobody.
Presuming you did want to be deputized by Ricky, which no one sane would want that. Why would we have to go down to Virginia? Why couldn't we just come to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and get deputized there?
You can't break Cantwell out of jail in Pennsylvania because he's in Virginia, another Commonwealth.
Brother Chris, if needed. Because you ain't going to get arrested if you're a deputy of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Who's not going to arrest you? You're saying the Virginian government won't arrest you if you're a deputy of Pennsylvania's Commonwealth?
That won't happen because they're going to
Based on what other than your imagination?
This is the best Ricky call in recent memory, I gotta say. So you want to break? Let me just make sure I'm clear. Are you saying that you want to break Chris Cantwell out of jail using your deputy powers? That you can just waltz into the Albemarle County Jail and say, "Listen up, here I'm Ricky from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Here's my badge. I'm a deputy. Now I'm gonna need that man, Christopher Cantwell, and you're gonna bring him here."
No badges here, just hats, brothers.
Just your hat. That's all, and a gun. That's all you need. They'll believe
We don't
that.
need no stinking badges.
I hope. Look, Ricky, I'm not interested in accompanying you, but if you ever do this, you need to make sure you get live streaming video.
Count
of it
me out too.
There's more coming up here. Thanks for the call, Ricky. Toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, and of course, Cell 411 is a great way to do that at getcell411.com. You ought to check it out.
Maybe Ralph will be on board.
Have you wanted to get into Bitcoin mining but don't want to deal with the hassle and frustration of operating the mining hardware? Let Pool.Bitcoin pool.bitcoin.com handle it for you like I did. Just visit pool.bitcoin.com and use their calculator to estimate what you could end up making. You get to decide which Bitcoin you want to mine. If you already have mining equipment, you're invited to join pool.bitcoin.com. Get all the details and get started mining Bitcoin at pool.bitcoin.com.
When I get to about 3/4,
when I get down to the bottom, a couple more scoops, it's time to place my order. Dinovite.com.
Order a 90-day supply of Dinovite for your dog this week.
We'll send you a bottle of Super Mega Fish Oil free.
Packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Free this week at Dinovite.com.
If it's working, don't quit. DINOVITE.com.
Dr. Carolyn Dean wants you to have a free chapter of her new book, The Magnesium Miracle 2nd Edition, and it's available at magmiracle.com. In your free chapter, Dr. Carolyn Dean explains how magnesium is essential to support the structure and function and overall health of your body. Your free chapter is your guide to learn how to support your heart, bone, metabolic, lung, and mental health with this powerful mineral. The Magnesium Miracle 2nd Edition is available on Amazon, but right now get a free chapter at magmiracle.com, spelled M-A-G, miracle.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Understanding your credit score is the first step towards managing and improving it. This is Charlie Sundstrom with your Van Dyke Mortgage Minute. The most influential component of your credit score is your payment history. Almost equally as important is the amount you owe on credit accounts. Also impacting your score, but to a lesser degree, are the length of time you've utilized your credit, the number of new accounts, credit inquiries, and your various types of credit accounts. To help achieve or maintain a healthy credit score, have a system set up to assure your bills are always paid on time. Don't max out your cards. It's better to have a high credit limit with a low balance. Never close old accounts. The age of these can actually help your credit score. But don't be afraid to use your credit. You need several accounts in order to have a credit score. Just keep the corresponding payments within your means. For your mortgage pre-approval and refi needs, start by visiting vandykemortgage.com.
Corporate NMLS 3035. Van Dyke Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Charlie Sundstrom, NMLS 134251.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. You dial on in toll-free here. 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Joining you in the studio tonight, by the way, it's Ian.
And Chris.
And Darryl.
And, of course, don't forget you can join us online. Head over to freetalklive.com, and you can get interactive in a variety of different ways. One of them is our forum. You go to forum.freetalklive.com, and you can interact with other Free Talk Live listeners. I was really happy to see this week, and actually over the last few weeks, there's been a lot of activity over there. In fact, within the last 24 to 48 hours, we've had probably close to 20 posts, which, that may not sound like a lot to somebody out there. But for, if you have the long view on forums on the internet these days, the reason we got rid of our original BBS, which was our original forum back in the day, was because it had died off. I mean, people had left forums and they'd joined Facebook, and then Facebook proceeded to destroy human communication. And so we're trying to bring back the forum. In fact, all three of the hosts on the show tonight have accounts on that forum, and as do a number of others. There's conversations going on about Free Talk Live and some of the shows that we've had. There's some of the listeners have started discussion threads about each show recently, which is kind of cool. So that's just something they did on their own. And then there's other areas of the forum. There's some cryptocurrency related areas. There's some New Hampshire activism related areas. And so come on over and check it out at forum.freetalklive.com. Those of you who were around back in the day with the Free Talk Live BBS, you may recognize some of the original BBS participants who have come back, like Boner Joe. And he's calling himself Jay these days, but he's there. Gene the Christian Anarchist is there. WTFK is there. And so it's nice to see some of the old standbys, the standards, have been there for years, listening to the show and being sort of part of the online component. It's free, by the way, and it's a really nice forum software. It's not old software. It's new. It's snappy. It's modern. It works well. And it's got all the notifications you could possibly want, the ones that'll pop up in your screen while you're on your browser, the email, more classic email notifications. You can get all of that or none of it. It's up to you how you get it configured on your account. So check it out at forum.freetalklive.com. Let's go back to your calls and thoughts. Someone calling in from Virginia, calling themselves Deputy of Virginia. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello.
That would be the Commonwealth of Virginia. I like the idea of breaking Christopher Cantwell out of jail. Brother Ricky, Brother Ian, Brother Dale. All the brothers should just come join me and break him out.
Come on down to Albemarle County.
I'll pass.
That's cute. That was
but I
funny.
do want the bear jerky.
Bear jerky. Now, is that really a thing?
Oh, I'm sure it could be.
Because I know, wow. I mean, that would be really interesting to try out bear jerky. I've had alligator before.
I was looking online. I did find hammerhead shark jerky.
Okay. Sounds expensive.
Yeah, it was like $14 for a pack.
Wow. Didn't you just have
I do love some jerky, but I don't spend more than
much.
$5 a pack on jerky.
It's getting harder to find $5 packs of jerky, man. They're getting more and more expensive.
Yeah, well, the CVS often runs sales if you have the CVS rewards card where it's buy one, get one free or buy one, get one half price.
Yep.
So it winds up averaging out to where it's less than $5 a pack.
Good to know. Let's go to Ralph. He's in New Jersey. Ralph, you ready to join up with Ricky's gang and head on down to the Commonwealth of Virginia? Break Chris Cantwell out of jail?
Well, this is what happened when, the Democratic Party is marginalized. El Caper, otherwise known as El Negro, would just be campaigning himself between Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
What does that have to do with the plan to break Chris Cantwell out of jail?
Nothing.
Well, the case of nothing.
Wouldn't you support that though? I mean, you're a blatant racist. You don't like black people.
Yeah,
so
and you are now white guilty. White guilty through and
that
through.
is not true at all. There's no reason I should be guilty, Ralph.
Yeah. What you are claiming me to be?
I'm not claiming you to be anything except for a racist.
Some kind of a caricature out of the, out of...
You pretty much are.
Speaking English right now?
Yeah, he said, am I claiming that he is a caricature?
Ah, wow, I did not make any of that out.
Good evening, Wolfman. You too. Yeah,
Wolfman.
Guilty through and through.
Wolfman.
All I could make out was Wolfman, and I'm guilty. What am I guilty of?
You're guilty of being a Wolfman?
And what am I guilty of? What are the charges against me?
Look at how you take. Look at how you approach the situation with Kaepernick. Okay, Kaepernick was
the football player.
Definitely
the football player whose rights I support to not stand and salute the flag.
And he lawyered up. You know who Mark Geragos is, Darryl? You know who Mark Geragos is? Mark Geragos.
Is that the lawyer?
Mark. The lawyer, yes.
No, I've never heard of him.
You know who he is?
Darryl, have you heard of Mark Garagos?
Jog your memory.
No.
Jog your memory back. Jog your memory back to Michael Jackson. That's who he is. No, he's not.
I can't help but laugh at you, man.
I have no clue what is being said right now.
It's so hard to understand what you're saying. He's saying jog your memory. Apparently, you're supposed to remember who the lawyer of Colin Kaepernick is.
The lawyer, Mark Garagos.
Just tell me why I should know who Colin Kaepernick's attorney is.
Well, because this animal who is a ghetto thug is claiming collusion. I tell you what collusion is.
Who are you saying is a thug? Are you saying that Colin Kaepernick is a thug or his lawyer?
He's a thug, yes.
What has he done to make you think that he's a thug? I mean, the guy takes a knee at a football game.
His conduct is definitely, or the way he carries himself is definitely, in my opinion, thuggish.
Thuggish?
Okay? That's correct, thuggish. And in that being said,
So you feel like you're intimidated? Are you intimidated by Colin Kaepernick?
Intimidated?
Do you think that if you... Hold on, Ralph. Hold on. Ralph, if you were walking down the street and Colin Kaepernick were also walking down the street, would you feel that he was about to just attack you for no reason?
Would I say hello? Would I? No. The man is
I don't think you know what a thug is, man. You should know. You're from the Philippines.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
You've got a thug down there who's running the country. His name's Rodrigo Duterte, and he has basically admitted to committing murder.
Okay, and Obama is...
You're going to try to tell me that some football player who takes a knee is somehow intimidating and somehow a cruel or vicious ruffian, a robber, or a murderer?
But listen.
That's the definition of thug. Huh?
Isn't the national anthem and the flag interwoven into, the NFL since the NFL began?
I think the government pays them to, do a bunch of patriotic stuff.
They do, and hold on, Ralph. The NFL rule book does not say anything about the national anthem. They do have a game operational manual that you can't actually find online, but an NFL spokesman did release a brief paragraph that said the national anthem must be played. Okay. The players must be on the field or the sideline. They should stand. They should hold their helmet in their left hand, and they should refrain from talking. So if you hold your helmet in your right hand and hold that over your heart, you're violating the should just as much as somebody that's not standing.
How can you even violate something that's a should? It's not a must, so how is it even a violation?
It's not. But there are people like Ralph saying they're violating the rules by not standing. It's a should. It's a suggestion.
Okay. But if as far as the national anthem is concerned, you do
it's
remember...
It's a garbage song, is what it is.
Okay.
And it supports slavery. Do you support slavery?
Oh, there's the white guilty.
Is that what you're saying here? Are you a slavery supporter?
There's the white guilty.
Do you know that? Did you know that it's a pro-slavery song?
You see, that's why you are a white guilty.
You can deny it all you want, Ralph. Thank you for the call tonight. Toll-free number here, I believe it's the third verse of the national anthem.
Yeah, but they never get that far. They just go through the first, and they don't even realize that the end of the first verse is asking a question. It's not a statement, but they always sing it as a statement. If you pull up the lyrics, the final line of the first verse, there's a question mark. So the question is, does the flag still wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave? But they always sing it as a statement of, the flag still waves over the land of the free and the home of the brave.
You're right. There is a question mark there.
And I realized I wasn't on tune, but it doesn't really matter. You can sing a song to whatever tune you want to.
Oh, boy. Toll-free number here tonight, 855.
It's a question, and I say no. The flag isn't waving over a free nation.
450-FREE, 855-450-3733. You dial toll-free. Bring up anything you want. Hour number 3's on the way. Terms of service. Are they going to lock you down literally in Albemarle County Jail over it? It's Free Talk Live.
How did you become addicted? A friend? Were you at a party and someone said, "Hey, try this"? Then you got the cold sweats and started shaking. And the more you did it, the more it didn't work. So you switched to the needle. Now you're a train wreck. Drinking, drugging, broke. Your family hates you. And you hate you. Get out of your hell on earth now. Call the Detox and Treatment Helpline today for immediate help. In many cases, your insurance may cover the costs. We can't guarantee it, but we can guarantee we have what you need to change your life for the better. Pick up your cell phone and call right now. 855-700-2979. 855-700-2979. 855-700-2979. That's 855-700-2979.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Boost Kid Essentials Nutritionally Complete Drink, providing your picky eater with essential nutrition and great taste in one drink. Visit us at kidessentials.com. To make sure your kids eat healthy, follow the 5-a-day plan. Serve 3 servings of vegetables and 2 servings of fruit daily. Remember, a serving could just mean a piece of fruit or a half cup of veggies. If your kids are picky eaters, ask a nutritionist about other sources. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, October 20th, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.17 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,284 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 2.6 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $5,670. Antiwar.com reports Catalonia ignored the most recent ultimatum from Spain on disavowing their independence referendum on Thursday, and Spanish officials have announced that they will begin the process of seizing direct control over the region and revoking all of its historical autonomy on Saturday. This move was announced by Spanish officials despite repeated warnings from Catalan President Carles Puigdemont that any attempt to remove their autonomy would lead to Catalonia declaring full independence from Spain. Catalonia held a referendum on October 1st in which an overwhelming majority supported independence. Spain insisted the referendum did not count, and Spanish police injured over 800 voters in a violent crackdown, which has also increased support for the Declaration of Independence. Puigdemont signed an independence declaration last week but suspended its implementation pending talks with Spain. Spanish officials, however, have ruled out talks and are threatening to jail a number of additional Catalan leaders for sedition. The rest of the EU is largely supporting Spain in the measure, many fearing a successful Catalan secession would bolster such moves around the continent. One EU diplomat also said many have not much to gain from backing Barcelona and a lot to lose from angering Madrid. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports the Missouri Court of Appeals threw out a judgment against Johnson & Johnson that would have sent $72 million to a woman's family who claims she died of ovarian cancer from contact with the company's talcum baby powder. The Missouri Eastern District Court of Appeals on Tuesday ruled the state was not the proper jurisdiction because the 62-year-old woman was from Birmingham, Alabama. The judges cited a U.S. Supreme Court decision in June that ruled the plaintiff's claims must have a connection to the state where the lawsuit is filed. In February 2016, a circuit court jury in St. Louis ordered the company to pay the family $10 million in actual damages and $62 million in punitive damages. Jacqueline Fox died 4 months before the trial. Fox believes she had been using Johnson & Johnson talc-based products for more than 25 years. She was among 65 plaintiffs, including only 2 from Missouri who joined the lawsuit. In 3 other St. Louis jury verdicts, more than $200 million total was awarded against the New Jersey-based healthcare giant. Plaintiffs were from California, South Dakota, Tennessee, and Virginia, and all but one prevailed. Johnson & Johnson said in a statement, "We consistently argued that there was no jurisdiction, and we expect the existing verdicts that we are appealing to be reversed." Johnson & Johnson currently faces 5,500 claims in U.S. courts. In 2115 New England, there are no borders, no states, and no regulations, yet never has a more peaceful and prosperous place existed. But Mr. Drake's security company has seen better days. Faced with the prospect of waning power, Mr. Drake intends to replace the anarchy of New England with a government. But at what cost? And can anyone stop him? Anarchy in New England by Joe Jarvis is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. Reuters reports the California Department of Insurance said on Thursday its preliminary estimates for insured wildfire losses at $1.05 billion based on claims received by the state's 8 largest insurers, adding they expect the number to rise. California Insurance Commissioner Dave Jones, during a media call, said that insurers have received 601 claims for commercial property losses, 4,177 claims for partial residential losses, and 3,000 claims for auto losses. Since erupting on October 8th and 9th, the blazes in parts of Northern California have blackened more than 245,000 acres and destroyed an estimated 6,900 structures as of Thursday, including homes, wineries, and other commercial buildings. CAL FIRE said more than 15,000 people remain displaced. Moody's estimates insured losses at $4.6 billion. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
The Subway restaurant chain has reacted with shock this week after executives discovered that many customers are apparently purchasing footlong sandwiches and eating the entire 12 inches by themselves. A spokesperson for the company addressed reporters this morning.
This is not how our products are intended to be consumed. Our footlong subs have always been meant to be shared among 2 or more friends. Eating an entire foot of food shouldn't be possible for most people, but they've been doing it somehow, and it needs to stop.
To encourage healthier eating habits, Subway is clarifying its marketing, adjusting language on menus and in television commercials like this one. $5 footlongs? Wow, that's $2.50 per person. Subway's corporate leadership says they were horrified to learn of the misunderstanding.
It's frightening. I mean, you don't see people eating entire pizzas by themselves. We even cut the footlongs in half into 2 regular-sized sandwiches before handing them to you. But I guess that wasn't clear enough.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live. We're launching into the 3rd hour of the program, and you can dial in toll-free to join us here at 855-450. Free like freedom, 855-450-3733. With you in the studio tonight, you've got Ian,
Chris,
and Darryl.
Coming up, Chris is going to be telling us, hopefully, about the story he promised us last week, and we never got to, just because... Well, a show like this has happened where we get a lot of calls, and it is fun, of course, to take your calls. That's what we do here. We will open the phones to you, and you can call in about anything that you want. So we're going to go back to those calls. But coming up, Chris, you're going to be telling us about terms of service, a Supreme Court case that has to do with violating those terms of service and potential criminal penalties for that.
Yeah, that would be, CFAA is crime, is definitely criminal.
We'll find out more about it. But first, Stefan is on the line. He is in Ohio. Hello, Stefan.
Hey guys, how are you?
What's on your mind tonight?
I had read a news article earlier today about this person. I'm sure you guys know all about Playboy and how, this month, apparently we have the first transgender Playmate ever. And I have to wonder, why does it seem like the media is so obsessed with transgender people? If they truly are what they are, like this person was male to female, if they truly are a female, why do we have to clarify that they're transgender? Why can't we just say they're female?
I think part of it has to do with, and this is something that was really big back in like the late 80s, early 90s of this is the first time that somebody of this ethnicity has done this specific thing. This is the first time a woman has ever served on the U.S. Supreme Court. The first time a woman ever did fill in the blank. And I think it's basically a way to where they can, make a little bit of publicity of, hey, this is the first time somebody that had gender reassignment surgery has been the centerfold of this magazine. And then, you get some media, and then people are going to be, oh, wow, Playboy's still around? Well, I'm going to go get a copy.
And it's controversial as well. Like, that's what gets the media, the fact that this is not just your average first. I mean, this is a controversial first. This is a first designed to get people talking. Like, should Playboy be allowing a man or a person who was originally a man? Now, of course, depending on who you ask, they will still consider the person to be a man.
Right.
But should Playboy allow? In fact, I was thinking about talking about this on tomorrow night's show, but nonetheless, I'm glad you brought it up, Stefan, simply because this is that kind of red meat issue that's going to get people going. It's going to get people opinionated. Longtime subscribers to the Playboy magazine may have some very strong feelings about this. Certainly bigoted persons will have strong feelings about this. Go ahead.
I don't like the bigot card being pulled immediately because I do happen to be one of the individuals that think, this is a guy that just has a mental problem. And that's not even saying it in an insulting way. But what I want to know is these people
sounds like it's insulting.
Well, I have a form of high-functioning autism. I don't consider it
I can insult anybody I want.
Yeah, pretty much. But the question is, if this person is a woman, why do we have to point it out? If this person truly is a woman, then it wouldn't be the first woman to be featured in a Playboy.
You're saying just put this transgendered person in Playboy without any kind of announcement whatsoever, and just let it out there.
If they truly believe that this individual is a woman, then yes. I mean, why does it have to be pointed out if it is indeed a woman?
Now, Darryl, we were talking about this briefly off the air. You looked into the story a little bit, and you said that this person, I forget her name, Ines or something like that, Ines, the individual who is the Playmate in the November, December upcoming issue.
She's 26 right now. She's
post-op, though?
Gender reassignment surgery 10 years ago.
When she was 16.
So this is a person. I did not know it was the surgery. So this isn't like Bruce Jenner, where basically gotten some makeup and then said I'm a female. This is actually somebody that had received surgery and therapy.
If you were to see this woman naked, you would say that's a woman.
Well then,
Ines Rao is her name. The story here at ABC News does have some of her pictures. It has an Instagram, which is Supa, S-U-P-A _Ines, if you want to go and look at some of these photos. One of which does show, apparently she got some implants as well, because she does have a very nice looking pair of breasts.
She's a very attractive woman.
On her.
I don't.
We don't know what the rest of her looks like, but I guess you'll find out if you get the Playboy issue.
Or if you just search the internet a little bit.
Wait, didn't Playboy stop doing nudity, or then they brought it back? They stopped it, and
they
then
stopped and brought it back because of all the
they
backlash.
Brought it back.
Right.
I was able to find some pictures. Very attractive woman. It's a woman.
Oh, wait. You're talking about of Ines Rao, or of?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Well,
you found some nude pictures?
Yes,
okay,
Ian. I found naked photos of this woman that was naked in a magazine.
I didn't. Well, the magazine hasn't come out yet, so I didn't know.
Right, but you search online.
You found pre-release nudes. Okay, gotcha.
I don't know if they were released from Playboy, but they were nudes of this woman.
Gotcha.
Well, do you think Playboy might just be doing this to kind of hop on the bandwagon of acceptance and tolerance and all of that?
And what would be wrong with that?
Sounds more like a publicity stunt.
It seems like it really makes you uncomfortable. It seems like it really makes you uncomfortable, Stefan.
And you know what? I am not going to be ashamed of the fact that it makes me slightly uncomfortable.
Why? What is so bothersome about this to you?
Well, I will leave the people alone. I just don't affiliate with them in my life because
the people. You talking about transgendered people?
Yeah, transgendered individuals.
How do you know you don't affiliate with them?
I mean, I don't know any.
Do you check genitalia on everybody that you know just to make sure?
No, I'm not a cop.
Do you do DNA tests to make sure that all the people that say that they're men have XY chromosomes?
I mean, let's be clear. There are certainly some transgendered where it's pretty obvious that, it's a transgendered person. But some of them can be pretty convincing. I would dare say if they put Ines Rao in the Playboy issue and made no buzz about it, if they just put her in the issue, put her in the centerfold,
somebody would be able to see her X chromosome.
There would be a lot of men who would end up self-pleasuring to this person, and then later on they could reveal it like 3 months later, like, oh yeah, by the way.
You know what amazes me is, like, to me it would be a turn off if somebody, like, if they said it was fake, right? Like if it, or
if who said what was fake?
Well, okay, so if it was a somebody of the opposite sex, right? Or I guess transgender or whatever,
the opposite
right?
sex.
Yeah, that would kind of be a turnoff, right? I mean, to me anyway.
Okay, so slow down for a second here. You're gay, by the way, just so our listeners.
Well, it's a little bit complicated to explain here.
You're a gay man, and you're saying what exactly? Use like genders and stuff. Like, give an example of what you're saying here.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, so if somebody was transgendered, right, and you didn't say anything, I'm sure I could self-pleasure, right? But if somebody told me it was the person was transgendered,
so let me
make it a little bit more difficult.
What you're saying is, if you were looking at pictures of a person who you believed was a man, but was actually born as a female, because you're gay, so you would be self-pleasuring to a man, supposedly.
Yeah, I guess that would be right.
We're trying to be clinical here because this is a radio discussion. So you would be self-pleasuring to what you thought was a man in that case.
Yeah.
That would, but if you were told that it was a woman, it would be a turn off. But if otherwise you did not know and you thought it was a man, then it would be a turn on.
So the point that I'm trying to make is, I would think that if they wanted to, like, if it wasn't a publicity stunt, they just would have kept quiet about it.
Well,
it definitely is a publicity stunt.
Yeah,
right. Because I didn't realize Playboy was still making print magazines.
You had brought up the point of, I think you're trying to get at the fact that maybe I'm a bit of a bigot and that I wouldn't know.
No, I didn't say that.
People...
Did you? You just said it was a fact. Are you saying that's a fact?
What I'm saying is it depends, and I find it because nowadays, especially in my generation, it's considered, transgendering is what I would like to call it, because there are people that are legitimately diagnosed with gender dysphoria, people with Klinefelter syndrome or Turner syndrome, who truly do have these kinds of problems. And yes, I find it rather insulting when somebody like Bruce Jenner hops on the bandwagon for attention. Yes, I think that's a major problem. I find it very insulting.
Why would you be insulted by Bruce Jenner hopping on a bandwagon? Are you transgender?
Because what if somebody had decided to identify as having Asperger's syndrome? That wouldn't be nice. That would be undermining a problem.
I'm confused. Hang on, I'll bring you back.
Yeah, bring him back.
I'm gonna try to clear this up here in a moment. 855-450 free. By the way, interesting fact down at the bottom of the ABC article: the first transgender woman to pose for Playboy was actually back in 1991. More coming up.
Book Club Radio.
Today we're chatting with Mike Papantonio, leading trial lawyer and prolific author. His latest novel, Law and Vengeance, is a non-stop, action-packed legal thriller. We spoke with him about the book and the real-life issues that inform and inspire his writing.
I ended up being involved in really complex cases. By being there, it gave me kind of an interesting view of the world that maybe most people don't see, because I'm always on the other side of a table against a corporation that's created a pharmaceutical that's killing people, or a corporations that's polluting our waterways or our air knowingly, or a Wall Street entity that's stealing from mom and pop. So I always see that part of the story, and I collect the documents and I take the depositions and I try the cases. And in there, most of these books that I write kind of write themselves, because they're all based on actual events, actual cases that I handle.
On the heels of the critically acclaimed legal thriller Law and Disorder comes Law and Vengeance, the latest novel from famed trial attorney Mike Papantonio. Law and Vengeance follows the law firm of Bergman Dichotomus, who is now in the crosshairs of a weapons manufacturer. But this is not a law firm that plays by all the rules. Based on a real case, Law and Vengeance, the riveting new legal thriller by Mike Papantonio, is available wherever books are sold.
Earlier this year, after many years of conflict over the direction of Bitcoin, the creators of Bitcoin Cash did just what they were told to do. They forked off. Now there are two Bitcoins, the one that is run by the big bank patsies, and Bitcoin Cash, the one that stays true to the creator's vision. Bitcoin Cash has surprised many with its relevancy and staying power, and the price reflects it. If you believe that Bitcoin was meant to be a low-cost, easy-to-use, peer-to-peer currency that could bring economic freedom to the world, you need Bitcoin Cash. Get your Bitcoin Cash wallet right now at bitcoin.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, and you can bring up anything that you want. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. We're getting into an area that might make you a little uncomfortable. If you're uncomfortable talking about things like transgendered people or nudity or pornography, sex, these sorts of discussions, you can bring up anything that you want. But what started this topic here was the news headlines about, and it was actually brought up by Stephan in Ohio, the very first transgender Playmate in Playboy magazine's 64-year history. Of course, in the recent news, the founder of Playboy magazine, Hugh Hefner, recently passed away. Apparently his family is still running the magazine, and they have now named, apparently Cooper Hefner, who's Hugh Hefner's son, has named the latest Playmate Ines Rao, a model, French model, who's going to be the November-December centerfold. But interestingly, she's not the first ever transgendered lady to be included in Playboy. Apparently that goes as far back as 1991. So not exactly, it's not like they're breaking completely new ground here, but it is the first centerfold
was
Playmate.
The first time it happened, was it, advertised? Was it marketed, or did people just not know?
That's a great question. Because, and I don't know how you'd easily answer that question.
Yeah, because if this is the first time it's been publicized, we probably wouldn't have known.
Well, the first time a trans woman was in the magazine, she was not the centerfold. She was not the Playmate.
Sure.
So this is the person that is the Playmate. So
it's a higher rank, but still.
Right. But the point is, even if they did wind up publicizing it back in the 90s, well, we've got short-term memories. I don't remember every detail about every magazine from 20 years ago. There may have been, a trans woman that was the cover of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I don't follow the history of trans
models. And I really don't care.
Yeah,
it's not that I don't care about trans people. It's just that, like,
good for them, man.
It doesn't make any difference to my daily life who the Playmate of the month is, who the Playmate of the year is, who's on the cover of a swimsuit magazine. It doesn't.
Let's go back to Stephen in Ohio, because it is affecting him. He is all worked up about this, and he could take care of being worked up about it. There are ways to do that, Stephen. But you were calling in here tonight about being all frustrated over the fact that Playboy has a transgendered Playmate coming up here. Now, you were kind of mixing in a discussion about autism, and I wasn't really sure how you connected one to the next, and that's kind of where we left that last segment off. Can you maybe re-explain what you were trying to say?
Okay, so gender dysphoria is a legitimate mental problem. Doctors give diagnostics for it, and people have to go through therapy, maybe get medications, even reassignment surgery when they are diagnosed. And the problem is, as somebody who also suffers from a mental disorder, I think it's kind of insulting when people, because I had talked about people that hop onto the bandwagon. I don't know this person's medical history. I don't know if they had maybe Klinefelter syndrome, Turner syndrome, maybe some other underlying mental problems to make them feel this way. It depends on the circumstances. I was just a little frustrated that, Playboy had blown it up. But back to what I was saying, I said it would be insulting if somebody came out and identified as being high-functioning autistic. And I think people that are actually transgender or have gender dysphoria, when somebody just hops on the bandwagon, I can't help but feel maybe they'll feel a little insulted by it.
Let me ask this question. Would it make you feel better if Playboy had a person that is autistic as the Playmate of the month?
As I said, it really depends. I said it's okay. I just wish that it wasn't being blown up. This is nothing to blow up.
Aren't you blowing it up by calling in to the show tonight?
I'm saying that I'm responding to it being made a big deal. If they would have just, said this is a woman, which they're claiming it is, then this would have never been headline news, and I would have never made the call to begin with, and this wouldn't even be a discussion.
Well, why does it upset you so much, though, the fact that they're blowing it up? Let them blow it up. It's their magazine. They want publicity, obviously. If you were running a magazine, you'd want some free press.
I'm not saying it's not within their rights to do it. I'm simply responding to it. I think it's a bad thing to blow it up. They are claiming to me that this is a woman. Why does it matter if this woman was previously a man? Why does that
seems to matter to you.
It matters to me that they would even mention it.
But aren't you saying also that it bothers? Aren't you also saying that it bothers you that that transgendered people exist at all?
No, not always. It depends on their medical history. I said people that have been diagnosed with gender dysphoria or have Turner or Klinefelter syndrome is a completely different story. When the media blows it up, you get people part of the millennial generation, the generation I'm a part of, that start, trending. Trans trending is what it's called. Every school in America right now probably has at least one. And no, I don't believe that many of these people are running around. It makes no sense that we would have such a problem in the human species in the past 15 years that this would suddenly become a huge medical problem within 15 years' time. It makes zero sense.
All right. Thanks for the call tonight, Stefan. The toll-free number here, if you want to join us, 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. I'm just so confused. I just didn't want to keep going on with the call.
Yeah, and it seemed to kind of being circular. But looking back, trying to dig in on the the first trans model in Playboy, apparently
in 91.
She was a Bond girl. It was Carolyn Tulakasi, who was a Bond girl, and then she was in the magazine in some kind of spread with the other Bond girls.
Huh. And she was born a he.
Yes.
Interesting. If you want to join us here, our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE.
And there was a headline on News of the World, James Bond girl was a boy.
Oh, okay, so it did get some press
yes.
back then.
Yes.
So again, this really isn't that new, which is kind of interesting. I mean, everybody's going to act like it is brand new because, well, again, who remembers way back when? And it is the very last fact in the article at ABC News, so it's going to be the least covered detail of this particular story.
Right, and 1991 was
that's a long
26 years ago.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. That's as long as Ines has been alive. She's 26 years old right now. So let's continue with your calls and thoughts here. We have Sarah. She is in Albuquerque. You're on Free Talk Live. Sarah, are you going to be picking up the November-December issue of Playboy?
Oh, I don't involve myself in that nonsense,
Nonsense?
Are you going to pick up the issue of Playgirl?
I don't do any of that.
Still in print?
Play pedestrian.
What is nonsense about? Hold on, Sarah. What is nonsense about fine art? Some would say that the photography in Playboy it's very tasteful. It is very artistic compared to, let's say, Hustler or one of the other more gratuitous porn magazines. Your thoughts?
All of us are on a different, spiritual ladders.
That's true.
Most
You're
of
above
the world
this.
feels that that's art. There's a lot of people that are not involved with
You
that
have
kind of
climbed.
stuff.
What you're saying is, Sarah. I'll translate it here for our listeners. We're going to bring you back because I know you didn't call about that. So hang on. But what you're saying is you are spiritually evolved past the rest of the world. You have gone beyond seeing nudity as artwork because you're climbed up the ladder, as you were mentioning, higher than the rest of us. On the air with you, 855-450, free like freedom. More coming up with Sarah. Your calls and thoughts welcome. Free Talk Live.
Want revenge on the common housefly? Well, after 10,000 years, someone has finally come up with a better way. The Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun, which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic and no batteries required. $39.95 plus shipping and handling. Use discount code GCN and receive 15% off your purchase at bugassault.com. Fire your fly swatter and get your Bug Assault today.
ProPure water filters. Most trusted, most tested. Right now, you can save 25% on the ProPure Nomad Gravity System. Visit an authorized ProPure dealer for details. That's PROPUR.
CatieArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the highest quality body armor, period. Why would you go anywhere else? Go to CatieArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Go to CatieArmor.com. That's CATI Armor.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, dial toll free, join us on the radio. Our number here, 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. If you'd like to help out Free Talk Live, then you can do that by going to shop.freetalklive.com. We've changed recently. Having Amazon had broke up with us, we're now promoting our Walmart link, which you can find over at shop.freetalklive.com, as well as some other links to some online stores where when you make a purchase, it benefits Free Talk Live. So once again, go to shop.freetalklive.com if you want to help us out as we go to Sarah, or back to Sarah in Albuquerque. Sarah, what were you calling about tonight?
Well, yes, I just want to mention, you know how the people that are closest to God, or people that want to do well, we have a very narrow path. So if we do something wrong, we would get that karma back right away. So if I get tempted to look at the Playboy magazine and get entertained, we would feel guilt conscious right away. If somebody talks us into stealing something, we get our stuff stolen right away. But you see these evil guys that steal cars and do bad things, and you see nothing bad happen to them for years and years.
Yeah, like
and
those
years.
politicians. What's up with that?
Well, the reason is that God allows them to do bad things because they're actually going away from God. So they could have a very lascivious life with 30 different girlfriends and cheat and do all these horrible things, but they only are going to be chastised if they're coming back home. So it was people that are closest to God, people that want to do well. We have to pay for our sins right away as it comes up.
I see what you're saying. So are you saying that the people who are just doing bad things all the time, that eventually they're going to come back to God and then they got to pay the price for all of that at that time?
Right, on their way back. Let's say a kid ran away from home and want to do drugs and goofed up, the father just let them be, right? He might be staying up late, wandering around, but it's only he'll have to pay for it when he wants to do right and coming back home.
Yeah, I got what you were saying. I think it's an interesting theory. I don't know if there's anything to it, because I'm pretty sure a lot of the people who do bad things do taste karma in their lifetime, and they do have some bad things come back to them. But it can be, from the outside, for instance, when you look at a politician, it can appear as though they're not getting what they deserve. So maybe that explains it.
Well, the thing about it is I believe in reincarnation.
Mm-hmm.
So they might reap their karma, what they have done.
In another life.
They cause like 300 years, 500 years down the road. But
it's possible.
I'll take the deal.
Can I get what's behind door number 3?
Sarah, thanks for the call tonight. Toll-free number
Better
here.
not be the goat.
855-450-FREE like freedom. Let's go to Johnny in Syracuse, New York. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Johnny.
How you doing?
Hey, Johnny. What's on your mind tonight?
I just want to talk about. I want to talk about the Second Amendment, but this girl who just called, she's a liar.
Oh?
Yes, sir. She claims to be a Christian. She believes in reincarnation.
No, she never claimed to be a Christian.
Oh, I'm sorry. I stand corrected.
No, I think she's a Hare Krishna or something like that.
I don't really know.
But she says something else that tripped me up here, that threw me off the Second Amendment. She talked about karma. There's no such thing in karma in Christianity.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, I do, sir.
Well,
I'm a pastor.
Oh, okay. What kind of pastor?
Oh, okay. I'm correct.
Well, I'm a minister, so what about that? But I'm not a Christian minister, so I'm not trying to claim I'm a Christian minister.
The war of the Christians.
Not buddy boy, but you should know there's no such thing in karma in the Christianity. It's not even mentioned. It's not even believed in. It's a wrong thought. It's a wrong process to purport if you're backing up the Bible. Don't go there.
I mean, karma is just the idea that what you put out comes back to you. You're telling me that's not a part of Christianity?
No, karma's Hinduism. Karma's Hinduism.
No. Karma's a concept that is across a variety of different religions. It's an old idea. Huh?
No, yes, it is. And so is Hinduism. It's thousands of years old, and so is Christianity. Okay? But I'm going to tell you right now. You look at that Bible, and she purports to be God this, God that. Well, I believe in God. I believe in Muslims. I believe in everything. But there, nowhere in that Bible does it say Jesus in karma. And I think she did say reincarnation. She says,
just because they don't use the same word, dude.
Hold on.
What is that deep dark place you go with fire?
Isn't that representing? But she never claimed to be representing what she was promoting as Christianity.
I agree with that. But regardless, we're beyond that. Now he's just making the statement that he doesn't believe that karma exists within Christianity.
That the term is not used in the Bible. That is a factual statement. The term did originate from Hindu and Buddhist philosophy. Right. But to some extent, because there are punishments laid out in the Levitical law of if you do X, then here's the punishment. So that kind of
beyond that,
the philosophy of karma is sort of
in there,
just not under the term karma.
Just because they don't use the same word doesn't mean that they're not describing the same concept. You'll find if you look at world religions, you'll find that there are a lot of similar ideas across a lot of the...
The golden rule is laid out in most religious texts in one way or another.
And to some extent, the golden rule is a retread of karma, right? Like treat others as you wish to be treated.
Not so much in translations.
The suggestion
lots of
there
translations.
And the suggestion there is that if you treat people poorly, that's going to come back to you. Right? If you treat people well, that's going to come back to you. In fact, just a quick Google for karma finds the Wikipedia article references Christianity. Mary Jo Meadow suggests karma is akin to Christian notions of sin and its effects. She states the Christian teaching on a last judgment, according to one's charity, is a teaching on karma. Christianity also teaches morals such as one reaps what one sows. I mean, that's the basics of karma. That is karma. That is another way of describing it. Also, to live by the sword, die by the sword. Most scholars, however, consider the concept of last judgment as different from karma, with karma as an ongoing process that occurs every day in one's life, while last judgment, by contrast, is a one-time review at the end of life. But again, a minor, I would say, difference there. And not everybody who believes in karma believes in instant karma, that you're going to pay right then for the thing that you do. As Sarah had pointed out, she believes that it could be later on in a different
she said
lifetime.
300 or 500 years from now.
Right. It could be a different lifetime. It could be many years from today. And it could be instant. Certainly that can happen too. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And I think that, the reason why karma is such a popular idea is because people can see it working in their life. And, we'll leave it there. Let's continue here. Thank you, Johnny, for your call here tonight. Violating the terms of service. Finally, let's get into the story.
Karma.
Here.
You violate the terms of service and you pay because the terms of service, something blockchain powered drone.
I sure hope that karma doesn't apply to terms of service because it's a bunch of crap. But go ahead. What's the story?
Supreme Court leaves troubling CFAA ruling in place. Sharing passwords can be a criminal hacking.
CFAA being the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act from the 1980s.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So basically, let's see here. For many, many years now, we've talked about problems with the CFAA, the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. which was passed in Congress in the 1980s in response to the Hollywood movie War Games.
War Games,
yeah. It was messed up moral panic back then, and over the years it's been abused widely in both civil and criminal cases to define almost anything as hacking. Over the past few years, we've been following two cases in particular related to the CFAA. By the way, this is from TechDirt.
Okay, good site.
The David Nozel case and Power.com case.
You're going to tell us more about those.
Yes,
coming
I'll
up here
tell you more about
moments.
These
855 450 free, and why this is relevant to everybody listening. We'll get into all that coming up here. And your calls and thoughts are welcome. 855 450 free like freedom. You can join us on the radio here on Free Talk Live. Moments remain, but there's just enough time for you if you want to join us on the radio. Free Talk Live.
From the first letter of Captain Mark. History is full of flowery documents claiming to limit the power of the crown, but these poetic social contracts have been impotent to prevent the predation. Limited government is a lie they use to keep us submissive. The crown cannot be trusted to abide by its founding charters, nor its treaties, nor even its own rules. The essence of the crown is centralized violence, and I've had enough. That's why I raised my black banner. I am no revolutionary. My aim is not to reset the cycle of violence, but to break it. My aim is an evolved society, invisible to the crown, not a new hierarchy, but decentralized networks with no central figure for the crown to target. If you want your servile life, keep it, but we will not submit to the crown's agenda. And when you are ready to stop being its beast of burden, ready for adventure and opportunity, join us at pirateswithoutborders.com.
Are you happy washing your hands with harsh chemicals? Are you happy doing laundry with detergents? Are you happy paying high prices? Find your happiness with Pure Soap. These all-natural, earth-friendly Pure Soaps are the very best you've ever used. Buy in bulk. Get a 12, 36, or 48-month supply. Or get items individually and still save big. You're getting soap products twice as good as what you're using now. Earth-friendly and natural soaps. Your family deserves the best. Happiness is 5starsoap.com. Why not put your money up the drain for a change? See them at 5starsoap.com or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog. Cal Ben Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soaps that are triple concentrated. Soaps made from vegetable and coconut oils. See their full selection of soaps at 5starsoap.com. That's F-I-V-E starsoap.com. Or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog.
After excitedly posting an image of a Lamborghini Rebenton to his Facebook account earlier this afternoon, 38-year-old little boy Nick Weber talked to Onion reporters about his passion for fast cars.
When I saw that car, I was like, whoa, it was so cool. I had to show it to all my friends. I like red cars the best, but only ones that are really, really fast. I can't wait to get one when I'm older. I'm going to get the fastest car in the whole world.
The Weber also frequently posts about his other interests, which include motorcycles, fighter jets, and Marvel superhero Iron Man. The nearly 40-year-old small child confirmed that sports cars are his favorite, and the picture of the bright yellow Lamborghini has already garnered 15 likes and 9 comments from other enthused middle-aged children who are friends with Weber on the social networking site.
My best friend Bradley, he sent me a picture of a blue convertible that's so awesome. It has these big wheels and even has a racing stripe on it.
After watching several online videos of fast cars and eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch, the home-owning little tyke went to his room to take a nap.
This is the Onion News Network.
You may already know about the Free Talk Live audio-on-demand phone line at 641-793-9660. Did you know that not only can you listen to Free Talk Live via your phone, you can also leave a message and have it delivered to Free Talk Live's hosts? To leave us your thoughts, just dial 641-793-9660. That's 641-793-9660. Press 2 for Free Talk Live, and then hit 0 to leave your message.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Dial in, toll free, 855-450-FREE like freedom. If you want to join us on the radio, you got time. 855-450-3733. We're talking about the terms of service. You know, those things that you never read when you're installing software or visiting a website, but yet they claim bind you to whatever arbitrary things that they have written in there. Well, Chris is here with us from thinkpenguin.com. It's Ian, Darryl, and Chris in the studio. Chris, you're sharing with us a story from TechDirt about the CFAA, Computer
Fraud and Abuse Act.
Fraud and Abuse Act, something created in the 1980s in response to the movie War Games, which has been, of course, like all political things, abused and used beyond its original intentions.
Yeah, basically, War Games was a movie about this kid who I think launched a nuclear.
That was the
bomb of some kind.
Oh, right. So he had
right?
To,
That was. I'm thinking of the right movie, right?
It wasn't an actual nuclear launch, but he made the computer think that there was a nuclear war, and then at the end, spoiler of a 30-year-old movie. #spoilers. I'm going to spoil a 30-year-old movie. I know people get upset when I spoil 30-year-old movies. At the very end, he realizes what has happened, and he goes in. And he asks, how about a nice game of chess? And then the computer says, strange game you have. The only way to win is not to play the game.
Yeah. So let's get back into the story here where they're referencing two cases specifically.
Yeah. So there's basically two cases. There's the David Nozzle case and Power.com case. Basically, both involved fairly twisted interpretations of the CFAA. And unfortunately, the Ninth Circuit found both to be okay. And unfortunately, this week, the Supreme Court declined to review both cases, meaning they remain good, if stupid, law in the Ninth Circuit, which will likely influence cases elsewhere.
Is it going to tell us what happened in those cases?
Page 2.
Okay.
Yeah, well, see if I can just skip a little bit of this here.
This is from techdirt.com.
Yeah. So it's a CFAA violation for a service to access a website. So this is one of the cases. Even at the request of users, if the website has sent a cease and desist. This shouldn't be as a hacking, but the court said it's unauthorized access.
So if the website that is being utilized, so like maybe via an API or something like that, has sent somebody a cease and desist saying stop accessing our website, and they continue to access the website, they're calling that hacking.
Yeah, well, so in this particular case, it's a website that is doing the accessing of another
on behalf
website.
of a client.
Yeah, on behalf of a client.
Okay.
Power was a service that tried to help consolidate different social networks into a single user interface for users. And lots of people found that valuable and signed up for the service.
Sure.
But Facebook didn't like it and sent a cease and desist to Power. Power figured that since the users were asking it to continue and they were the ones who had the accounts, it was okay to continue. The court, unfortunately, claimed that it was a CFAA violation, the equivalent of hacking into a system, despite having legit credentials, just because of the cease and desist.
So what was happening there was a website like I don't know, I've never used Power, so I'm not really intimately familiar with it, but there are sites out there that are kind of intermediaries between a user and their social media accounts.
I found a little bit more info here from Lexology.
Okay.
Power provided a platform where members could access their various social media accounts in one place. So
right, like Hootsuite
kind of like
or something.
a Hootsuite.
Yeah.
Power received authorization from Facebook users for the service after sending messages through social media platforms. Facebook responded by sending the cease and desist, demanding that Power immediately stop its access of Facebook's computers. Power nevertheless continued evading Facebook's attempts to block.
You know, I am no fan of Facebook. Okay, I'm the first person to say get the heck off of Facebook. I wish I didn't have to spend any time there. But I feel like I have to just because we have a show and we kind of have to be there.
So little more info here. Facebook filed lawsuit in federal court in 2008 alleging Power had
this is old.
Not only used Facebook against the TOS, but had violated Facebook's trademark and sent upwards of 60,000 spam messages to Facebook users in an attempt to deceive them into thinking the messages were from Facebook. They then stored and saved user account info outside the reach and protection of Facebook.
I got to say, I mean, it doesn't sound like they're a particularly lovable bunch over there at Power. What's the other case, just out of curiosity, if they give you detail?
Yeah, the other case is actually more interesting. I don't know, though, that
this Power case, by the way, was rejected. The Supreme Court rejected hearing an appeal.
So the other cases
the Power doesn't really seem that too terrible to me. It's because, I mean, essentially they were it's like using a proxy. I mean, if you go through a proxy, is that prohibited? I mean, this just
if you
seems ridiculous.
Specifically tell the person running the proxy, hey, I don't want you coming on my property, then I would say that's a legitimate restriction.
But that's up to them to block.
But then the person running the proxy not only continues doing it, but then sends messages using the Facebook name and logo. So basically, they were phishing.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were phishing.
But even if they weren't phishing, even if they were just saying, well, we're just keeping our users' password info because it's more convenient or whatever, they weren't using it for malicious purposes.
Right.
Still, you try to think of it as though it's real property, right? Like if I say to you,
it's
Chris,
not real property though.
But it's still property. If I say to you, Chris, you can't come here anymore onto the LRN studio property, and then you start trying to put on disguises in order to still come onto the property, even though I've told you not to, that's still a violation of what I asked you to do. And in most jurisdictions, if I give you a warning and say you're not to come here, if I call the police, you then get arrested for trespass.
Hold on. If you say, Darryl, you can store files on my server, and then I wind up taking too much of your server space, and you're like, hey, Darryl, get your stuff off my server, but I keep logging into your server and uploading files, then I'm violating your server.
I have a hard time. So I wouldn't necessarily...
So you're fine with me uploading a bunch of stuff to your server?
I would block you.
Yeah, but then he could change his IP address and try coming back in that way.
Okay, so this is an authentication mechanism with every service I've ever known, and if you delete the account, that person would no longer be able to access the service.
Well, maybe he can access it through another account.
Maybe I can find a way to hack it.
That's a business. That's a business thing. I mean, we're talking about.
All right, give me the other story.
Facebook
give me the other story.
Told people you can't access this anymore. What's the next
case?
There's
no practical way of enforcing that. Neither.
Well, apparently, no, right. It's not very practical to go to court. Yeah. But these people didn't request Facebook's, or they didn't respect Facebook's request, and it's I got to look at that as tantamount to you're telling somebody to get off your property and they're not doing it. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, I get where you're going with that. I would go somewhere else with it. Just like another perspective on that, but let's not because for the sake of this. In the normal case, in the Nozel case, the court said that merely sharing your passwords can be a CFFA violation. In that case, a guy looking to compete with his old firm had someone still there share a password so he could log in and get customer info.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not good. They may be unethical and problematic, but should it be equivalent of computer hacking?
I would say that should not be considered computer hacking. That is something they need to punish their employee for in that case.
So so you guys, this is okay. So this is where this is all leading. This is the problem. It's not these particular cases. These particular cases might be like, oh, he's a bad person, whatever, fine. Mm-hmm. I mean, I get that, but it's where this leads that's the problem, and you'll see right now.
All right.
So while the Ninth Circuit had rejected an even broader interpretation of the CFAA that could say merely violating a terms of service became unauthorized access, it said okay to the password sharing one. There was some hope that the Supreme Court would hear these cases and explain that these rulings stretched the CFAA to dangerous degrees,
but they didn't.
Unfortunately, that's not the case. Yeah.
So they say that if you get fired from your job and you're mad and you want to go back in and get all the database and one of your buddies is still working there, lets you into his account, they're saying that's hacking.
Yeah.
Now, it's definitely unauthorized access into a computer system. That much is true, but by the person who did it. But it's the fault of the person who worked for the company. The person who did it didn't actually breach the security. The person who gave the information without permission to the person who logged in.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard. It's hard to understand the dangers here because the cases were they're kind of cases where like, oh, these are bad people. But I'll give you an example of what would also
these are not sympathetic to defendants.
Right. Have you ever shared a Netflix password with another person in your family?
Right.
Exactly. Have you ever used a pseudonym when you've signed up for a website as opposed to where it says in the terms and conditions you have to use your real name?
Do you have 2 accounts on Facebook?
Right.
Do you have 2
So
Twitter
what you're
accounts?
saying is a true
You're a
wide
criminal.
interpretation of this statute is to say that anybody sharing a password in any circumstance could be considered a criminal act by the CFA.
Everybody's a criminal.
Everybody's a
very
criminal, right.
disturbing. All right, so check more Chris out over at thinkpenguin.com. We'll see you tomorrow night online. In the meantime, freetalklive.com. And you can share passwords there. We don't really care.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you got to keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
The Torchwood Report is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, October 20th, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.17 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,284 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 2.6 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $5,670. Antiwar.com reports Catalonia ignored the most recent ultimatum from Spain on disavowing their independence referendum on Thursday, and Spanish officials have announced that they will begin the process of seizing direct control over the region and revoking all of its historical autonomy on Saturday. This move was announced by Spanish officials despite repeated warnings from Catalan President Carles Puigdemont that any attempt to remove their autonomy would lead to Catalonia declaring full independence from Spain. Catalonia held a referendum on October 1st in which an overwhelming majority supported independence. Spain insisted the referendum did not count, and Spanish police injured over 800 voters in a violent crackdown, which has also increased support for the Declaration of Independence. Puigdemont signed an independence declaration last week, but suspended its implementation pending talks with Spain. Spanish officials, however, have ruled out talks and are threatening to jail a number of additional Catalan leaders for sedition. The rest of the EU is largely supporting Spain in the measure, measure, many fearing a successful Catalan secession would bolster such moves around the continent. One EU diplomat also said many have not much to gain from backing Barcelona and a lot to lose from angering Madrid. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports the Missouri Court of Appeals threw out a judgment against Johnson & Johnson that would have sent $72 million to a woman's family who claims she died of ovarian cancer from contact with the company's talcum baby powder. The Missouri Eastern District Court of Appeals on Tuesday ruled the state was not the proper jurisdiction because the 62-year-old woman was from Birmingham, Alabama. The judges cited a U.S. Supreme Court decision in June that ruled the plaintiff's claims must have a connection to the state where the lawsuit is filed. In February 2016, a circuit court jury in St. Louis ordered the company to pay the family $10 million in actual damages and $62 million in punitive damages. Jacqueline Fox died 4 months before the trial. Fox believes she had been using Johnson & Johnson talc-based products for more than 25 years. She was among 65 plaintiffs, including only 2 from Missouri who joined the lawsuit. In 3 other St. Louis jury verdicts, more than $200 million total was awarded against the New Jersey-based healthcare giant. Plaintiffs were from California, South Dakota, Tennessee, and Virginia, and all but one prevailed. Johnson & Johnson said in a statement, "We consistently argued that there was no jurisdiction, and we expect the existing verdicts that we are appealing to be reversed." Johnson & Johnson currently faces 5,500 claims in U.S. courts. In 2115 New England, there are no borders, no states, and no regulations, yet never has a more peaceful and prosperous place existed. But Mr. Drake's security company has seen better days. Faced with the prospect of waning power, Mr. Drake intends to replace the anarchy of New England with a government. But at what cost? And can anyone stop him? Anarchy in New England by Joe Jarvis is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. Reuters reports the California Department of Insurance said on Thursday its preliminary estimates for insured wildfire losses at $1.05 billion based on claims received by the state's 8 largest insurers, adding they expect the number to rise. California Insurance Commissioner Dave Jones, during a media call, said that insurers have received 601 claims for commercial property losses, 4,177 claims for partial residential losses, and 3,000 claims for auto losses. Since erupting on October 8th and 9th, the blazes in parts of Northern California have blackened more than 245,000 acres and destroyed an estimated 6,900 structures as of Thursday, including homes, wineries, and other commercial buildings. CAL FIRE said more than 15,000 people remain displaced. Moody's estimates insured losses at $4.6 billion. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Saying that he was giving his coworkers at Marley Publishing just a few more days to catch on to him.
Following the news this week that recording artist and industry magnate Bob Dylan would be laying off 2,000 workers from his Muscatine, Iowa songwriting factory in an effort to streamline his music-making operations, The Onion spoke with veteran factory worker Travis Felton, who received a pink slip earlier today.
I've been working on the lyric assembly line for 25 years now. Punch in each and every morning, make sure the words are complex and poetic. And yesterday, the foreman calls me into his office to tell me that the company is reducing headcount. They're giving the whole rhyming section the boot. What Mr. Dillon and the other suits don't understand is that here in Muscatine, songwriting is all we have. And we've been doing the best damn Dylan songs in the world for over 50 years. And now they're trying to...
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Torchwood Report. I am Matthew Taylor, along with the one true Niz, and it is Friday, October 13th, 2017, and we are coming at you with the awesome stories. But before we go any further, I'm going to kick it over to Niz to kick us off. Niz?
This broadcast is covered by the BIPCOT No Government License. That means that you are free to use or rebroadcast portions or segments of this show, so long as you are not an agent or advocate for government. If you fail to heed this warning, you will be socially shamed. For more information, please go to bipcot.org. That's BIPCOT.org.
Yeah. So, Niz, there's been some crazy stuff that's happened this week. We're going to go over some of the small stuff now before we move into some of the deeper topics. But you were, right before we went on air, we're talking about the Iran deal and what happened today.
I wouldn't necessarily say that we're going to get into heavier topics. I think for this show, I think our heavy topics are going to be run through pretty quick in the quickies right here in the beginning. I mean, it's not to say that there's not, serious stuff that we're going to talk about throughout the rest of the show. But the really, really pertinent stuff is probably going to be in this first couple minutes of the show.
Oh, okay.
Because that's where I have programmed all the Trump stuff that happened this week. Because there's a lot of Trump stuff this week, man.
When isn't there, man? When isn't there?
No, this week is not like Trump on Twitter. This week is like serious Trump stuff.
Okay. Well, like I said to you earlier today, I did not have an ability to sit down with Niz and make these notes up and guide us. So Niz is going to take us on a journey of this week and everything. So, Niz, run us through what you
Buckle up.
Let's see
Here
what you
goes.
got. Yeah,
I'm going to hit this hot and heavy, man, because I got a lot to cover and not a whole lot of time to do it in. Today, President Trump made good on a long-running threat to disavow the Iran nuclear deal that was negotiated by Barack Obama. But he stopped short of unraveling the accord or even rewriting it, as the deal's defenders had one time feared. In a speech that mixed searing criticism of Iran with a more measured action, Trump declared his intention not to recertify Iran's compliance with the agreement. Doing so essentially kicks the decision to Congress about whether to reimpose sanctions on Iran, which has the potential to completely unravel this agreement. In response, Trump said, "We will not continue down a path whose predictable conclusion is more violence, more terror, and the very real threat of Iran's nuclear breakout." The president derided the deal as one of the worst and most one-sided transactions that the United States has ever entered into, but added, "What's done is done, and that's why we are where we are." Trump said that he'd asked Congress to establish trigger points which could prompt the United States to reimpose sanctions on Iran if it crosses thresholds set by Congress. Now, in that same vein, State Foreign Relations Chairman Bob Corker, a Republican, said Friday that he would introduce legislation to fix major flaws in the Iran nuclear deal, a step that he says will eventually solidify and strengthen the agreement as President Trump moves to disavow it. The Tennessee Republicans' proposal came as Trump's announcement that he would not certify Iran's compliance with the multilateral agreement negotiated in 2015 by the U.S. and 5 other countries to supposedly prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. Trump's move leaves the Iran deal in place for now and shifts the spotlight to Congress. Trump asked lawmakers to address what he says are weaknesses in the deal, and Corker's proposal appears designed to respond to that request. Corker told reporters in a conference this morning that we have provided a route to overcome deficiencies and to keep the administration in the deal and actually make it the kind of deal that it should have been in the first place. So there's that. And, of course, Democrats are losing their mind over this, saying it's going to make the world less safe, yada, yada, yada. Not that I personally believe that this deal made the world any more safe in any way, shape, or form. I just think it was a major, big old circle jerk there on the left. But hey, that's just my opinion. You know what they say? Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and they all stink.
I mean, I honestly do agree that there. I mean, I know that you are definitely where you sit with government and everything like that, but I think as the world comes together, this is a topic that needs to be discussed, which is nuclear armament around the world. And I really don't think Iran is a spot that really needs to be pushing for more to make advancements here. And I think, not only the United States, but the entire UN, which again I know you're feeling on the UN, has all definitely vehemently opposed.
Right.
So
I'm for personal nuclear devices. I think that I should be able to have a Fat Boy, like in Fallout 4. I should be able to have that in my closet, and that would be a deterrent against anyone and everyone. Because if everyone has one, nobody's going to
use it. Yeah,
right,
absolutely.
Right.
So
that's that.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but I think this here is something where I can't say I honestly disagree that there needs to be a little bit more oversight on what's going on in the Middle East, which I know is painted to be a far different picture to us here in America than what it actually is. But I still think that we should still, as a world community, not just the United States, should step up and kind of make sure that this volatile region does not make advancements to fundamentally affect the entire world with their actions.
Well, I think the first thing that we could do in order to affect that change would be to get the hell out of there, because we really don't have any business being there in the first place.
Oh, I mean, I agree with that. I don't think we should have troops on the ground in just about anywhere where we're at right now. I could go as far as saying anywhere that we are, besides just inside of our country. I don't think that anywhere that we have deployment is a direct threat to freedoms and liberty that we have inside of our own borders, if you want to believe that we have these things.
Right, so, there's a larger threat to my freedom and liberty on Capitol Hill than there is in Iran. Absolutely.
Right. And I mean, all you have to do is kind of look at the documentations of what these troops are doing and where they're deployed and what regions are destabilized at what times, to understand that this has never been about terrorism. This has always been about a resource grab. Just take a good look at where everything is, follow the map, follow the pipelines, and you'll see what's going on. But
I've been saying that for years.
You definitely have. I know you've said it on this program a couple of times, and you're hit the nail right on the head whenever you bring it up. But so if that's the whole thing, we really shouldn't be there. But again, as the world, looking at it through the eyes of everyone who would be affected by this, I really do think that it's not just a United States issue. This is a world issue of not trying to allow more countries to gain this technology, but instead trying to get it out of use completely. I mean, I know Donald today. In the world today, but Donald Trump has been pushing lately quietly, and sometimes during his campaign trail, he was talking about what he wanted to do with the nuclear arsenal that we have. Now he's been kind of pushing a little bit towards trying to add to our nuclear arsenal, which is a step in the wrong direction from what the former presidents have been doing. I mean, don't get me wrong, Barack Obama definitely slowed down our disarmament program, but at no time were they actively trying to add to it. Donald Trump recently has suggested that he wants to add to our nuclear arsenal. Well, guys, we are going to be coming back in just a few moments, so stick with us live here on the Torchwood Report. We'll be coming right back at you after these breaks.
Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. For years, LRN.FM has had a listen line that you can call and listen to LRN.FM anytime. Now we're taking the idea to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on-demand line. You can call 641-793-9660 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed, and you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long-distance fees may apply. Just dial 641-793-9660 and choose from the menu 641-793-9660.
A report confirms that many Iraqis are still holding a petty grudge about the U.S. invasion. An advanced alien civilization discovers an uninhabitable planet, and a single woman has a Facebook profile picture with her sister. This is the Onion Week in Review. A groundbreaking study published Monday in the Journal of the American Medical Association confirmed that it is impossible to lose weight. No one has ever done it, and those who are trying should give up immediately. Researchers said that findings conclusively prove that shedding excess weight has never happened, changing your physical appearance is impossible, and that all sorts of exercises, personal training regimens, and diets will never, ever work.
Well, our test results conclusively prove that if you're going to the gym to lose weight, you will fail. You could work out every day and eat nothing, and you still wouldn't lose an ounce. Skinny people will stay skinny. Overweight people will be overweight. That's just how it is.
In other news, an area man is outraged. His private information is being collected by someone other than advertisers. And a crowd cheers as this 93-year-old fuck-up finally graduates from college.
This is the Onion News Network.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Torchwood Report live on the Liberty Radio Network. I am the one true Niz here this evening with Mr. Matthew Taylor. Before the break, we were talking a little bit about some of the things that were going down today and with Iran and Trump and that crazy backwards terrible deal. How did Trump say? It's a terrible deal. Terrible. Worst that's ever made. So we're going to continue on with some of the things here that happened this week with Trump. Moving right along now to healthcare. The White House announced Thursday evening that the government-funded subsidies designed to keep premiums low in the Obamacare legislation will stop. According to a statement from the White House, based on guidance from the Department of Justice.
Time out though. When has it ever really been low for the people who don't qualify to have the entire thing paid for? When have the premiums for Obamacare been low? I know people who are paying like $350 a month for their own personal, not even having family involved, but there's no way that you can say that there are anything keeping Obamacare low for the people who actually have to put money in.
Put it this way, Matt, okay? I was unemployed for a little while, okay?
Okay.
And I decided that, hey, I needed some health insurance.
Okay.
So I said, you know what? I'm just going to call one of those Obamacare navigators and see if I can get health insurance through the marketplace.
Right.
So, which is a funny, ironic freaking term that it's socialized medicine and they call it the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I find that hilarious. I mean, I'm dialing a number, laughing at the fact that I'm calling the quote unquote freaking marketplace. But anyway, so I call to see what a price on one of these plans would be. I give the lady all my information, explain to her that I'm unemployed. I have zero